On tonight's episode of the Gamecasters, we talk about a lot of hot new games. Natalie does another Nook segment for you, and then we end the show with our top 5 game boards. Stay tuned. Gamers, and welcome to episode 69 minus 7 of the Gamecasters. Yes, we're once again sitting down around a table ready to spew forth our auditory vomit directly into the barf bag of your ear holes. So get ready for the most nauseating experience of your day. Get the Pepto ready, you sickos. So, I've been thinking about giving you guys new nicknames.
Oh, okay.
Well, actually, Jeff the Mad Board Gamer has such a great ring to it, so maybe I'll just give the rest of you new nicknames.
Just me?
Let's start with Natalie.
Okay, yeah. That sounds great.
I already have so many.
So I came up with the following. You stop me when I get to one you like.
Me or Natalie?
Natalie.
Natalie, stop me.
Yeah, I guess, Jeff, you can stop me.
Yeah, I'll tell you which ones I like.
I like that one for her.
Yeah. That was
All right, the first one. Natalie Sporin. It's like a mishmash of Natalie and Neosporin because you prevent infection and kill bacteria from my soul. That's a thumbs down.
Thumbs down.
Next one.
Yeah, the next one.
Natalie the Nymphomaniac. Listen, well, hold on. It's not what you think.
Oh.
Because you're as cute as a nymph, and you like to fuck like one.
Oh my god.
Sounds okay.
Is that a medium
No.
one?
That was better than the first one.
Natalia the Bootyful.
Oh.
It kind of sounds like America the Beautiful, but we get to talk about your butt.
Okay. Fair.
What do you think about? Okay. Last one, Natalie the Patient. I mean, you're married to me, so this is actually more like your superpower in fact.
Patience?
Yeah, the
Ooh.
patience. So now let's switch over and create superheroes about ourselves. Let's start with Natalie.
Okay.
Oh my god. Wait, did you create them?
Your superhero name, Natalie, is Windguster.
Oh my god.
Natalie has the power of flight so long as you eat a steady supply of beans and eggs.
Oh, she only flies
Eggs?
because of that. She
Eggs
flies.
give you
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, which is why you keep them in a fanny pack 100% of the time.
Oh my
to
god.
fuel your flight. You also have patience of the vulture. It has to be wind related. The ability to withstand any amount of annoyance and childish behavior from even the most attractive of your husbands. You use this superpower constantly, right now, in fact.
How many husbands do I have?
It's up to you.
Tell us.
Any moment now, you're going to unleash the power of the egg to whisk yourself upstairs super quickly.
Power of the egg.
In a fanny pack, Ron. So that's an interesting superhero. Jeff, you're up. Jeff's superhero name is the Mad Professor. It's just Jeff teaching at school, but he's like a little bit meaner. So he's
like
still a
that.
really popular teacher, but you get the feeling that maybe he could be a supervillain or an
Like,
anti-hero.
what does he do on the side?
Like, yeah. He says
Yeah.
things like, "No, I don't want any monkey business," at the start of every lesson.
Yeah. I don't mind going back to prison.
Also, he can grow his penis to any length and girth, so he
Oh.
could have like a
Whoa.
meatball down there or like a super long spaghetti noodle
Okay.
whenever he needs to.
Yeah, there
come in
are
handy.
lots of situations where I need both
Yeah,
of those.
you're the professor, so you do what you want.
Or either.
There are also, those are both spaghetti related, I just realized.
Yeah.
Either a meatball or a
No,
spaghetti
maybe that's
noodle.
my superpower is I can only
Yeah.
change my penis into shapes of noodles.
Spaghetti shapes, like penne.
Like, there might be a
bow tie?
big ass
Bow
rigatoni
tie.
around here somewhere.
You ready for this bow
Elbow.
tie noodle, Devin?
Elbow pasta.
Yeah. We like this tricolor pasta.
Did you just like make your penis into a balloon? And now me, my superhero name is the Super Soaker or the Human Sponge. You guys can decide. I have the power to retract fluids into my body during long weekends in Indiana. It's true. Give me all the water you want and then follow me around for 3 days. You won't see me in the bathroom one time, leaving more time for crime fighting. Too bad my other superpower is extreme cowardice.
So that's
But
superpower.
I'd like to think that
The superpower
eventually
is just
I
holding the
throw
water.
myself
Yeah.
at bad guys, and then the pee and poop I've held in splashes out onto them, infecting any kind of paper cut they might have, and embarrassing them in front of their girlfriends.
So you just hold the water. It's not like you're like,
Yeah, I'm a sponge.
You can't give it back
Yeah.
to us in any sort of like.
Well, no, like
way.
I splatter myself, and then it
So
comes
the
out like a
power
sponge
is
would.
more like you don't have to take breaks from your superhero.
Yeah, I have way more time for crime
Tasks.
fighting because it's just sitting in my. I have like ginormous pores.
It's like in the old show 24 where like every minute of that show was like live minute. Have you
Yeah.
ever seen that? Where it's
Yeah.
like everything was in and you were
It's
like when
well,
they
you
go to the
don't sleep.
bathroom.
Yeah,
When they
or
go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Right. It's just
And
24 hours.
You can be that person.
So I feel
you
like
can save the
you
world.
could not go into a swimming pool with me. I would jump
You
into the
just
swimming pool and I would
soak
just
it all
soak it
up.
all in.
Ooh.
Could you ever
then-
wring yourself out like when you
Yeah,
want
I just
to?
run against the wall real fast.
So you have to run into the wall in order to wring yourself
I
out?
guess you could take me from the top half.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Natalie could take me from behind.
And that'll
on the
do it
bottom
for
half.
episode 62 of the Gamecasters.
Different directions.
If you want to hear about games, find another podcast.
Yeah.
So what's up with you guys? What's new on the basement front, Jeff?
It is almost done. We are so close, I can taste it,
Yeah.
smell it.
Okay.
I can see that it's almost done.
definitely
I can just see that it's almost
Smell
done, I
and
guess.
Did you add scratch and
The
paint?
sense that I will choose is I can see that it's almost done. We have paint on the ceiling and paint on the wall. Trim and doors are up.
Oh, what a feeling.
And we are just waiting on carpet to be measured and installed. And then we can move things downstairs. So we can move the shelves
Wait, you got
downstairs.
all the furniture ready?
No.
He has to build it.
Close.
Yeah, we don't have a couch yet, but we do have Deepwater Joe's TV he's lending us.
Oh, cool.
We have an old television
He's lending
stand.
you?
Yep.
Okay.
We have Natalie's mom's table that I'm
Nice.
going
It
to
was
use as a
actually
game
mine.
table. Natalie's mom's table
Why
that
do you
was
feel it
Natalie's.
necessary to tell everybody that it's yours? Actually, it's not my mom. Jeff.
yeah.
Hey, Jeff. It's not my
Sorry.
mom's table.
So I have Natalie's
mine.
mom's table that was Natalie's that now at Natalie's mom's home.
Actually,
Got
That-
it. Nailed it.
Yes.
I took
That I will be borrowing because if I have to ever get rid of it, I have to give it back to Natalie's mom. That was the rules. So
Gotcha. There's lots
I'm
of
going
rules
to keep it for a while.
regarding
It's a
ownership of
nice
this table.
rectangular 3x5 table
Yeah, but whose
according
is
to
it?
Natalie. Natalie's.
Okay.
But Natalie's mom is holding on to that.
I
It's a good
understand.
game
Okay.
table.
Yeah, but Natalie gave her permission, I heard.
Yes,
Okay.
I think there's
That's
the
the
checks
only
and
way to have it.
balances have allowed me to borrow this
Yeah.
for a small monthly fee.
Is there a transfer agreement that Natalie drew up
Yes,
for this
I had to
table?
Yes.
put a deposit down, and I had to sign some paperwork.
Okay.
And it's just a small monthly fee, and that this table will be mine for a little bit of time.
Okay.
It's non-refundable deposit. So, and I basically could have bought my own table, but I just wanted to help. So,
Yeah, understand.
so I did buy essentially a giant mouse pad to put on top of the table as
Cool.
like a
Like
topper.
this one? Yep.
Yes, like the one we are currently recording on. Everyone knows.
Yep, now they
And-
can see. With their ears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all the game shelves will come downstairs, and we'll kind of free up a bedroom upstairs, which is nice. And yeah, I'm super excited
yeah.
about
What are
it.
you going to do with that room?
no
well,
idea.
so you don't...
Like
you
an
typically
office?
don't fuck in the room you sleep in, so that's going to be their fucking room.
Yeah. The sex swing can go
Yeah.
in there. All of the
Yeah, all the swings.
right,
fun
right.
things. Yeah, the swings.
It's like the swings
like a
sets,
regular, like a
sex
tire swing, sex
yeah.
swing,
What
regular
other swings
swing.
are there?
The one with the
swings
baby,
of emotion.
the baby one that's like a little.
Oh, yeah.
One side of the room you can be happy, then all of a sudden get mad.
Yeah.
You can like swing dance in there.
Oh, good one,
What other swings?
Natalie.
What other swings are there?
Wow.
Look how proud she is. You know what? It's your table. It's you're
Yeah,
getting the best
she gets
joke of
all
all
the
the
best
swings. God damn it. We've been doing a lot of home renovations ourselves and walking on. So we got new carpet in the whole house.
Yes.
Jeff just came over for the grand reveal
It's awesome.
today. Although I did post it to Instagram as well. But it's different when you actually
Yeah, no,
see
it's
it.
better
Yeah, and
here.
he didn't
Walking
see the
on the
other
carpet with your
parts
little
of the
feet
house.
pads, isn't it like? Oh, it's so
It's nice.
It's so
It's
comfortable.
nice.
And so if we didn't, it's so funny how we were just talking about this before we recorded. Just putting carpeting down changes the entire scope of the entire space.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We had carpet.
Yep.
But we just upgraded the carpet, and now it looks
It was
incredibly
crappy
opulent.
carpet, and now it's
Yeah.
nice carpet, and it looks. It's
Just
just
putting
like
paint on the
cozier.
walls.
Yeah, paint on the walls is an easy
Yeah.
upgrade. Carpet's an easy upgrade because you guys painted the basement too, and it looks good.
Yeah.
And you're
Yeah.
like, wow, look how great this looks. And now the carpet
Right.
looks like.
Also, adding
Yeah.
like super expensive equipment down here makes it really
yep,
awesome.
adding more games.
Yeah, like
the
giant
more
TVs,
games that you have.
furniture.
Yeah, we finally got our Lazy Boy furniture that we've been waiting on since November.
Isn't it crazy how spending
episode
thousands
is-
and thousands of dollars just makes the basement better?
Sponsored by
Yeah.
Lazy Boy.
Yeah, stupid lazy boy. No, we're happy now. 'cause
Sit
we've
on
had
us.
it. We're happy now because we've had it. But
Yeah.
It's awesome.
What's going on with you, Natalie?
Yeah, Natalie.
What?
Yeah, what is
Me?
it? Let's hear it.
Why are you putting me on the
Well,
spot?
tell us about tables you own or things that are yours.
Yeah, what's yours?
Yeah,
We're
let us
giving you your own
know.
spot right here. This is yours.
Well,
this is just for you.
Well, I don't know.
You don't Renault? When you finally Renault, I would like you to
Right.
tell me.
There it was.
I don't know. We've just been really busy doing homes improvement stuff, and
Yes, I've been
that's
busy.
about it.
Oh my gosh, so busy. So,
And-
stuff with my dad's estate is still
Yeah,
ongoing.
Dealing with your dad's stuff, driving the stress of driving his
So I have
67
my
Chevy
dad's
Camaro.
67 Camaro RSSS for anyone out there who knows anything about cars. I don't. So I had to have one of his friends tell me all about this thing.
Like,
but
what
I was
kind of
driving it
gas to
around,
put
and
in
it was
it.
the most terrifying and awesome experience driving this thing because I'd never driven it before.
It's like a
and-
loud, muscly
yeah, people are
car.
like pointing at me and like waving and
There was somebody who like
honking.
waved to you right at 6 Mile and Beach,
I gave him the pimp nod.
and
like,
which is by his house. And I was like, at first, I was like, do they think that's him?
excuse me. I'm in my 30s. I'm a young,
No, I just mean like they probably saw the
man.
car and they're like,
capable
oh, there's
of
Larry.
inseminating and impregnating anyone I think about.
Oh my god,
I am not a
Wow,
68
you just have to think about it.
that's not what I meant. I didn't mean you look like an old man.
Wow, just the thought. That's your superpower. Oh boy, these children are running rampant around this world. Well,
Maybe I should have been the human
woke
condom.
up pregnant. You've been retaining all these fluids for so long.
Yeah, I have a lot of fluid.
Oh, gross.
God, I hope it's urine.
Oh man. Oh boy.
That's hilarious. So yeah, we've been doing just a ton of stuff and have not stopped.
And we also haven't played any.
Yeah, the gaming drought
Board
for Natalie and me
games.
continues. This might be the
man.
longest stretch of time, honestly,
Ever.
that I've gone without playing a game in the last decade.
Yeah, what's
Yeah.
it been?
You know
like
what I
2
mean?
months?
So I really thought I was kind of bouncing back, honestly. To talk about this for a quick sec, I even went into the Discord and like announced that like I'm back.
You
You did. You
felt-
did make an
I felt
announcement.
like I was back, and then I don't really feel that way anymore. I'm not back. I still got little to no desire to like do things that were normal before.
the things you liked doing
This-
before.
Yeah, it's like this event changed everything. There's so much other stuff going on with my dad's estate. You know, the house projects, the crippling depression, all that's still ongoing. There's seemingly no time for fun stuff, it seems like. Or rather, thinking of setting up and playing a game sounds like more work than fun, which we did get to play something, but Jeff brought it over and taught it to us.
Forced you to play
so
it.
it was like not as bad. We've just been so I think it's mostly that we've just been nonstop go for the past 2 months, and that is not over. You know,
Yeah.
like my dad is gone, but everything related to that is not done yet. And
Yeah.
so
the Hot
I
Wheels
just-
remain.
The Hot Wheel. Oh,
Oh
my
my
gosh. We
gosh.
literally
The Hot
packed
Wheels
up
remain.
probably 15 big, of those giant Home Depot boxes full of Hot Wheels.
They're
He thought
heating
he was
away.
going to retire off of Hot
Cameron
Wheels.
is going to Scrooge McDuck through them
Yes.
when he gets
Yeah.
them.
That's
Because,
awesome.
oh my gosh, there's so many of them. But
What are we going to
yeah,
do with them?
I don't know. We're gonna split them up between the boys
For the rest
'cause
of our life, if there's any boy birthday party we go to, they're going to
yeah,
get Hot
here's some Hot
Wheels.
Wheels for you.
Nice.
Does Jack like Hot
Yep,
Wheels?
he will
He's gonna
now.
Jack's getting
He's
Hot
gonna get 'em.
Wheels. Yeah,
I don't care if
he's
he likes
getting
them,
if he
he's
likes them or
getting
not. Sorry, buddy. So, like the last episode, since Natalie and I don't really have much game stuff to talk about, Jeff's going to bear the brunt of the game discussion. However, we did play one of them he's talking about. But last episode, I told some D stories that I interspersed through the games, and I do have. There's probably 20 more that I could tell at some point in the future. And I think I will do that at some point. I think I'm going to, like, as we think of some D stories, I think
Sprinkle
I'm
it
going to
in.
sprinkle those in at some point. I'm going to go away from that today. Today, before and after Jeff talks about board games, I'm going to just tell some really stupid jokes that I found
Great.
on Reddit that I happen to think were funny at 3 a.m. that are probably not funny
Yay.
at all
You were
now
up
at
till 3
noon
in
on
the
Sunday.
morning?
Not yesterday necessarily.
Oh.
Just like, how you get slap happy and you're like, this is the greatest
Yes.
thing I've ever heard. And then you read it the next morning and you're like, what on earth did I
wasn't
think that
funny.
was funny? I have no idea. All right, so here's the first one.
Okay.
Okay. A girl goes into the doctor's office for a checkup.
Okay.
As she takes off her blouse, the doctor notices a red H on her chest.
The letter.
Yeah, like the letter H.
Letter H.
How did you get that mark on your chest? Asks the doctor. Oh, my boyfriend went to Harvard and he's so proud of it, he never takes off his Harvard sweatshirt, even when we make love, she replies. Okay. A couple days later, another girl comes in for a checkup. As she takes off her blouse, he notices a big blue Y on her chest. How did you get that mark on your chest? Asks the doctor. Oh, my boyfriend went to Yale and he's so proud of it that he never takes off his Yale sweatshirt, even when we make love, she replies. Okay. A couple days later, another girl comes in for a checkup. As she takes off her blouse, he notices a yellow M on her chest. Do you happen to have a boyfriend in Michigan? Asks the doctor. No, but I have a girlfriend at Wisconsin. Why do you ask?
Oh.
Heyo.
Get it, day 69?
Yeah, I get it.
Oh, I should have told that joke in episode 69.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh,
that would've been
darn.
perfect.
I'm
Missed
sure there are
opportunity.
more.
So you can expect
Yep.
jokes like this
Yep.
interspersed through this next segment of the episodes. Hey, Jeff. Have you been playing any games, man?
No.
All right, joke
I'm
number
not going
two.
to say that line today.
Number two.
Nobody wants to hear me talk about games. I've
like
now talk about games. This is what I have to do now.
I'm sorry, man.
Usually, it's okay.
We have
Jeff plays the
It's okay.
games.
So if you don't
put
want
the
to hear me
burden
talk
onto
about
you.
games,
No.
you can fast forward for 5 to 7 minutes and then hear another joke, and then fast forward another 5 to 7 minutes, hear another joke,
I think
and then
that's
we'll
why
just.
they're all here to hear about the games.
I don't know. That was a pretty
No,
terrible joke. They might
That
like
was a good one. That was a good one. Well, let's talk about some games.
Well,
Okay.
the
Because-
games lured them in, and the joke
They leered them in.
kept them
Yes, you're right. They were leered in
listening.
by the jokes.
Lured.
Oh.
I'm leering at these games.
All right, Jeff, what do you got, man?
Well, I've been playing some games.
Hey, he wasn't gonna do it.
Oh, yeah.
We convinced him.
Cut that out.
Cut that out.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see. I thought you were like, apparently.
No,
cut
yeah.
that out.
Hey, cut
Cut
it
it
out.
out.
Hey, cut it out, pal. I'm trying to talk
Cut
about
it
games. Well,
We don't have food
We-
to shop while he's talking.
so Devin and I, this is maybe a preview for the next episode, but we did play Hallertau,
Nice.
the new Uwe game.
Yep.
Or I hear his name pronounced so many. He actually recently had a birthday randomly. It popped up like on
That
Facebook.
happens every year.
Yeah, every year.
Are you Facebook friends with him?
Yeah, I'm Facebook friends with him apparently.
Nice.
You are?
I don't know if he just is like, if maybe it's like a group page or something. I have no idea. Maybe it's like a fan club. I don't know.
It's like today is
But
Uwe
so we
Rosenberg's
played
birthday.
it, and I'll wait to give our
Yeah, we're gonna
analysis
play it.
and
Yeah.
talk.
That's gonna be the next
so
game
we
we
all,
play.
yeah, we
We'll
all
try
play it.
again next time to play.
Yeah, so maybe in 2
see
weeks.
what happens.
If not, I'm talking about it in 2
Okay,
weeks.
we'll see
But
what happens. Jeez, we're on deadline.
It made me want to play more of his games. I feel like I haven't played his big box games in a long time.
Okay.
Like I couldn't tell you the last time I played Agricola or Caverna. I haven't
Yeah.
played those
I've been
in so
wanting
long.
to play Caverna.
And did you ever play like
lately.
Fields of Arl or Feast for Odin?
No,
or any
and
of those?
I really
Or
want to
at
play.
Labora?
No, like I've played Ora at Labora once, but again, that's 8 years ago now. Like
Yeah.
it's been a long
Yeah,
time.
sure.
So I kind of want to get into them. You know,
They're good.
I
man.
want to
He's
play.
my boy. He's my boy for a reason.
Yeah, so I want to go, and I
Yeah.
bought Newsfjord, which was on
Oh, you did buy it?
super
the
sale
ship-
on
That game-
Amazon.
I
the other
like
day.
that game a lot. I'm kind of bummed. Natalie didn't like it too much, so we got rid of it. But I thought it was really
So now I
good.
have it. You can play with me.
Yay!
Okay.
Did you get the place
true.
deck or the salmon deck?
What?
There's 2 little expansions.
Oh no!
And they give you more cards.
Should I get those?
You don't need them yet because there's a
Okay.
bunch of cards to play through. There's like the A, B, and C cards. The C are like the end of game scoring cards.
So if I
think-
like it, get the
yeah, if you like
the
it,
new
get the
cards.
place
Okay.
deck and maybe the salmon deck.
So that, and I want to get a Feast for Odin because when I posted about Hallertau, people were like, Feast for Odin's the best, and I know Ben and M love it, and it's just like
Yeah.
people love that game. So I really want to get that to the
Personally,
table.
I disagree. It's the best. I like it. I thought it
Yeah.
was.
Well, Caverna is your favorite.
Caverna's
right?
my
Yeah,
favorite.
Caverna's great.
We played Feast for Odin. We had it for a while.
Yeah.
And it just felt so overwrought is the wrong word. I don't want to say overwrought, but it was like so big. After it was over, we were like, whew, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. If
I think
we
it's
would
a
do this
benefit
again.
from a lot of plays kind of game, where there's a
Yeah.
lot of different
Yeah,
ways to
yeah.
go, and you might not even
That's how all
touch
those
part
There's
of the
a lot,
board or
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, all those
so,
games are like that.
but anyway, let's talk about a game that I'll explain and review. This game is called Nidavellir, which came up a handful of episodes ago when we did our top 5 2020 games. Do you remember that? This was
Yes.
Sam McMeeple's favorite 2020 game.
Right. I remember him
So-
talking
Say,
about
I've heard.
Yeah, and
heard
he
of this.
like turned it on to me and was like, you got to check this game out. It's my favorite of the year.
Is it based
And-
off that Avengers planet? In the Avengers Endgame, do you remember that movie? The Avengers, not
Yes.
Endgame, the one before that, Infinity Gauntlet,
Infinity War?
Infinity War.
Infinity War.
Okay.
Yeah. So Thor and Rocket, they go to see
Oh,
what's his name, the dwarf
Yeah.
guy. From
know-
Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
What's his name?
what's his name? Tyrion.
Dinklage. Peter
Tyrion.
Dinklage. They go to
Yeah.
Peter Dinklage, and that's Nidavellir.
It must be. So this is I don't know if it's, I'm going to get it wrong. Someone's going to say it. It's either Greek or Norse themed.
Norse-
right? So
Norse
it
makes
is.
sense.
It must be. So,
Okay.
yes.
Gotta
right?
be the same thing.
So it's good. So I'll tell you right now, I'll probably say at the end again. If I would remake my top 5 from 2020, I think this would have shown up probably at
really?
like
Shut
5.
your ass.
Shut your. It was really good. So again, it's Nidavellir. It's a set collecting auction game. Natalie, it's not that bad. I think you would like this auction
top
part
five,
of it.
not that bad.
Yeah, I think you would like this auction part of it.
Okay.
So players are assembling a crew of dwarves to fight the dragon.
The dwarves.
Yeah.
Nidavellir.
So you are. It's kind of funny. Like the theme is, if you have the most points, you have the most braveness, and your crew gets the honor of going to basically die and fight the dragon.
Oh, okay.
So you have the bravest crew to go fight the dragon that's threatening the
land.
the community. Okay. So each player starts with 5 coins. They have values of 0, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then there are 3 location cards, or 3 locations that come out. And then cards are added to it depending on how many players. So if the 3 of us are playing, there'd be 3 locations, each with 3 cards on them. Make sense?
Sure.
So you are then using the coins that you have to bid on the 3 locations.
Okay.
And then you have 2 left over. So you have 2 coins left over. I don't know if it's like you put it in your fanny pack or purse or something. And then what we do is we deal with the first location first, and everybody flips over the coin that they use to bid on that first location. And then in descending order, you take the dwarf that you want that's at that location.
Okay.
It's kind of cool. Each of the locations, I think, is like a tavern. And you're basically going to the tavern to recruit these dwarves to your
Got it.
to your army, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So you continue to the second location, you continue to the third location. So by the end of each round, you're adding 3 cards, possibly even a 4th or a 5th, at least 3 cards to your army. Okay. Each of the cards is one of 5 different classes of dwarves. Okay. And they each provide points differently, which I think is really cool. The points are like braveness, so they call them braveness in there. So some of them are just straight points. Some of them, if you collect the most, you get a bonus at the end in braveness. Some have like exponential growth. Some are
I like a good exponential growth.
Yeah.
That's Jeff's superpower.
What noodle would you like to be?
Yeah.
Spiral, please.
Yeah. The spiral one.
Ooh, Ezra and Ooh.
Oh,
Like
okay.
the
Corkscrew?
cats.
Yes. Did you know cats have like?
They have like a hook.
Yeah, they got hooks on the end.
Ooh.
I thought they had like spikes.
No, there's another
Or is that
qu-
ducks? Or
Ducks
something?
have corkscrew penises, I think.
What?
Yeah.
Ducks
it
eat for
ducks?
free at Subway. What was I talking about? Yeah. So each of the cards score differently at the end of the game.
Okay.
And what this is like the coolest part. So that's the game.
Okay.
Once you collect a set of dwarves, so one of each of the colors, you get to recruit this like awesome hero card to your army. And it's sometimes it's a same class, so it might be, you know, a blue class or a green class. So you add it to that column of fighters, or it might be something completely different. It might give you like a superpower for the rest of the game. So what's kind of cool is you a lot of times need more of one class to get more points, but you want to collect the set in order to get these like incredible hero cards.
Okay.
And you like need these hero cards. They're so awesome. So once you go through that and you add your cards to your army, it's cool. Whenever you bid 0, so if you would have bid 0 on the first one, you actually take the two tokens that you didn't use, and you get to exchange that for the value of the highest.
So keep it?
Yeah. So for example, like if I didn't use a 4 and a 5 that round, that would be my 2 leftovers, right? So the 4 and a 5, I would give up the 5, the highest token, and I would take a 9 because the 4 and 5 add up to a 9. So I take a 9, give up a 5.
That's cool.
And they go up to 25.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah, it felt like, okay, well, how do I manage that? Because if I bid 5 in the first tavern, I'm never going to be able to exchange that 5 for a higher token.
Right.
So maybe I just play my low ones, and then I can I can immediately get a 9 on the first play, and now I can take that 9 and add it to a 4, and I get 13.
That's cool.
So that was a really cool decision. I liked how that increased, right? So play continues until basically all the cards have been taken, and there's a halfway point that you get some majority bonuses for if you have the most red. If you have most red, most green, blue, whatever, you get like a bonus, right? It might give you an extra card or some kind of power. I got one in the game that we played where my 0 token turned into like a 3. So I got a 3 token, and that token allowed me to switch out my
That's cool.
my 2. Yeah. So in the halfway point, you get some bonuses. End of the game, everybody adds up their bravery, and then those group of army get to go die and fight a dragon.
That's
It was it was good.
Is it a little anticlimactic at the end?
Were you just totaling points?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No?
I don't think so. I think like
Because it's when you're like, you get to go fight the dragons. Like,
yeah,
oh,
there
you
is.
just get to-
Yeah, like if you just think of it as like you have the best army.
Yeah.
there is no actual like
Yeah,
dragon
you're not like,
to go
there's
fight.
not like doing anything there.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I really liked it. It was, I felt like I taught it, and it took about like 15 minutes to teach her, just because each of the cards have to be kind of explained a little bit and how they score. And then we played it in less than an hour. It takes 45 minutes probably,
nice.
which it's like that's like a great time for that.
That's real.
And I think that means it'll hit the table a lot.
Yeah.
And I think that, collecting cards is not something that's new, right? Collecting sets of cards and them scoring differently is nothing new in gaming. But I really like the bidding. The bidding I thought was so cool.
That seems really unique.
Yeah, because at every time, in each of the taverns, you need to bid 0, because that 0 allows you to switch out your purse tokens. If you don't do that, you're not going to get a higher token that round. So, you look at the 3 and... which one do you want to bid 0 on? And just take the last card. You get the last card. But then there's also, because the tokens are obviously closer in number, there's like a tiebreaker. So, for example, if Ryan and I both bid 0, I had the 1, he had the 2, like tiebreaker. I would go first, I would take my card, and then we would swap. So then he would now have the tiebreaker the next time he ties, and then I would have it.
Got
so
it.
there's also it's like if I have the highest tiebreaker, I'm going to play my 0, because if anybody else played a 0 also, I'm going to get a pick before them, and then I get to also switch out my coins. I just liked that was very fun. The coins are all worth like points at the end of the game too, so you have incentive to increase those. And the bidding was awesome mechanism wise. The heroes were the coolest part of the game. There's, I want to say like 20 heroes that you can pick from. So like once you create your set, you're looking and you're like, these things are all so awesome, right? And you want all of them.
Ooh, I
like,
love
which
that kind
one
of stuff. That's like my
is
favorite stuff.
the best. Like there's this one set.
All seem overpowered.
Yeah, like there's this one set that's it's its own color. And you collect all of those colors and they grow they go from like 0 to like 40, 80 points. They're like huge numbers, but they're tough to get because of other people are getting them.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, there's some that allow you to like make your bet afterwards. Like that's like a power, but it doesn't give you points at the end of the game, but you get a cool power throughout the game. It was very cool. Like picking those were like tough. And I liked that decision. I think
Does it work with two?
Two, there's I think it's like a dummy player.
Yeah, okay.
Sam McMeeple has played with 2 a handful of times. He says it's good. I played with 4 and I thought it was awesome at 4.
Okay. But you wouldn't recommend it really for...
Yeah, I would say it's probably
Me and
3 and up.
Natalie are just good.
Yeah, so I would play like 3 and up.
Darn.
I don't love implementing like dummy players all the
especially in
time.
an auction game.
Yeah.
That's not going to work well.
So I would say 3 or more,
player.
but I'll play it with you guys because it's really good.
Yeah,
I
for
also
sure.
think, I don't know if you look at pictures or anything, the artwork is super cool. It's like it's completely black and white, but there's like these pops of colors in terms of like the army class and just everything just kind of like stands out.
That's cool.
And it's really cool. I would say, you know, a downside, but not really, is it's probably very like, it's overproduced for what it is, right? It's just cards, but I kind of like it because all the coins that you can trade them in for, all the coins have like a stand. And they like sit in this like, it's almost like bleachers. And you put them in these
that's
slots
cool.
on this bleachers.
cool.
Or all the hero cards come with their own like card stands and you line them up in the card stands. So could they just be laid out on the table? Of course, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, the difference between a $35 game and a $30 game.
Trying to
is
get that
probably
Spiel des
this kind of
Jahres
stuff.
nominee.
But overproduced like in a good way, right? It was cool. I would say, what else would I want to tell you about this one? Oh, I got to tell you, it's coming out soon. It's an April release.
I was going to ask.
okay.
It's
Yeah.
not out yet, right?
So look for it because it's very good.
Okay.
I think it's going to make people happy.
I love that review.
It is-
Look for it. It's very good. It's going
Yes.
to make people
I think
happy.
you need to like
Like that.
put it on your radar because this is going to come out and the expansion is going to come out, I believe, at the same time. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. But the expansion adds some cool like artifacts and some other cards and a little bit more depth, but also more cards.
Interesting.
Which is a great addition. And yeah, so mid-April, I know is what they're shooting for. I know there are boats stuck around the world in different places that aren't
Yeah.
delivering things, but yeah. So mid-April, Nidavellir, I would definitely like put it on your radar because it's really solid.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So real quick, I have been finally starting to paint miniatures. Like finally, okay. Ben, our good buddy Ben from Date Night Dice is teaching me. We had I'm doing it on stream. So we streamed 2 Wednesdays ago. Actually, right after the last recording, we
Yeah.
streamed, and I painted the obelisk for Tekenu. And the cool thing about this was we were painting and talking, right? So one of the things that Ben was mentioned, and I totally agree with him on, he said he's kind of in this stage right now of his gaming, I would say career, and it never sounds like the right word, his gaming journey,
The journey.
Yeah.
where he's really into games that are quick to teach, quick to play, but aren't just, like
Sushi Go.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's and I agree with him there. That seems like we just played a game that we'll talk about soon, Overboss, where it's kind of got that. It's like I guess that it's kind of like Sushi Go, but it's a little more. It's got a little
Yeah,
more
no, it's-
involved,
No,
right?
yeah.
So it
I'd
sounds
say
like
it's more
Nidavellir
like
is
that.
kind of in that
Nidavellir, it
category.
would be perfect. It plays in an hour and plays in less than an hour because I think that I taught it and we played it in an hour. Because
Yeah.
we got
Yeah.
through the first 3 rounds and I think Dave or Joe or Bill said was like, I think we're going to finish before, quicker than the rules explanation, right? But once you know like what the cards do and all that kind of stuff, it's just going to come really naturally.
Yeah.
And like I don't think I'll ever have to pick the rule book back up.
That just sounds like a home run for a lot of different gamers because heavy games have their place, long games have their place, but I feel like just about a filler length, maybe a little longer than a filler, is starting to become more normalized for a lot of different games.
Yeah, that's exactly where I think.
And I love that kind of stuff. So okay, cool. That's awesome. Nidavellir, we don't know who designs it. Is it a new guy?
It depends on where you live, right? BlackRock is one of the things
the designer.
Oh, I have no idea.
I'm like, it depends on where you live.
I think you meant the publisher. Sorry. Yeah, it depends on who did it. Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay, I'm gonna look it up. I want to see who it is because this sounds right up my alley. To be honest with you, I really like. Serge Loggett.
Old Sergi boy.
Sergi Leggett. I'm not sure. SERGELAGET. Let's click on your board.
But I guess it just depends on where you live, and then it could be someone different.
Sergey.
Wow, he's done a lot. Sergey. Duh. That's Sergi. Shadows over Camelot. He designed.
That's a good one.
He's the designer of that. He designed that with Bruno Cathala. Wow. Mare Nostrum, which I know the guys over at Secret Cabal like that game. Mm-hmm. Mystery of the Abbey. I've heard of that. And Ad Astra. And there's even more. Wow, that's cool. So, okay, this guy has a pedigree. Cool. Okay, so let's go with more jokes. Okay, so I'm going to tell two, I think, this time, because one of them is kind of longer, but one of them is really, really short. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
A man is getting a checkup. Doctor says to his patient, well, you're going to have to stop masturbating. The patient says, why? He says, because I'm trying to examine you.
Oh, my God.
That's one, again, I read that 3 in the morning, and I was giggling like an
You're just shaking?
Yeah,
That's great.
Yeah, okay, here we go. This one's a little longer. 3 guys are walking through the woods when they find a lamp. One of them picks it up, rubs it, and out pops a genie, as you might imagine. It booms, you have finally freed me after all these years, so I'll grant I'll grant each one of you 3 wishes, because 3 guys are walking.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The first guy immediately blurts out, I want $1 million. $1 billion, sorry. Poof! He's holding a printout that now shows his account balance is, in fact, $1,003.50. So he had $3.
Yeah, that was good.
Okay. The second man thinks for a bit, then says, I want to be the richest man alive. Poof! He's holding papers showing his net worth is now well over $100 billion. The third guy thinks even longer about his wish, then says, I want my left arm to rotate clockwise for the rest of my life. Poof! His arm starts. Arm starts rotating. Okay, Jeff's doing this. His arm starts rotating. The genie tells them, okay, it's time for their second wish. First guy says, I want to be married to the most beautiful woman on earth. Poof! Natalie wraps herself around his arm.
Oh my God.
Second guy says, I want to be good looking and charismatic so I can have any girl I want. Poof! His looks change, and Natalie immediately starts flirting with him. Third guy says, after a long time of thinking, I want my right arm to rotate counterclockwise until I die.
What?
Poof! Now both arms are rotating in opposite directions.
I don't even know if I could do that. I'm trying to do it.
I was trying to do it last night too, and I don't think I don't think it works. The genie then tells them to think very carefully about their third wish. The first guy does, and after a while says, I never want to become sick or injured. I want to stay healthy until I die. Poof, his complexion improves, his acne is gone, his neck beard is gone, and his knees don't bother him anymore. Second guy says, I never want to grow old. I want to stay 29 forever. Poof, he looks younger already. Third guy smiles triumphantly and says, I know. My last wish is for my head to nod back and forth. Poof, he's now nodding his head and flailing his arms around. The genie wishes them good luck, disappears, and the men soon go their separate ways.
We haven't heard their punchline yet, right?
Many years later, they meet again and chat about how things have been going. The first guy is ecstatic. I've invested the money. I've multiplied it many times over, so me and my family will be amongst the richest of the rich pretty much forever. My life is great. Second guy smiles and says, well, I built charities worldwide with a fraction of my wealth. I'm still the richest guy alive and also revered for my good deeds. I haven't aged a day since we last met. And yes, your wife is pretty wild in bed. Third guy walks in, flailing his arms around and nodding his head and says, guys, I think I fucked up.
That's it? What was he going for?
I know. Why would you want to do that?
Well, he fucked up.
So I read that last night. This one I didn't read last night. And I was like laughing my head off while I was reading it. Because I'm like, where is this going?
Yeah.
And I get to the end, it's like, I fucked up. And I'm like, that's it? That's the end of the joke. And then I started reading the comments, and the comments were like, here's why it's funny. And usually when you have to explain why something's funny, it's not funny. But when I read the explanation, I was like, okay, it actually is really funny. They were like, it's so funny because you think this entire time this guy's got this grand plan, and then the story
because he's smiling and
is building up to this like great finale. And it turns out he's just an idiot. And didn't know anything. He was like, this seems like it'd be funny.
Why would that be fun? That would not be fun. Even
I don't know if that's actually what he thought, Natalie.
Guess we'll have to ask him.
He had some plan, like some great, and he was like, uh-oh.
Like, did he think he was gonna be like a human plow or something?
A human plow.
I'm just gonna move my arm like this. If you get in the way, it's your fault.
I can't stop. It was a wish.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Okay, Jeff, what do you got next, man?
Probably built up some big old muscles.
Yeah, true.
Do I have any jokes to tell you?
What are you sleeping?
It's okay, I have like 5. I have like 6 more. So we'll
Is he like thrashing in his sleep?
Yeah.
Well, he fucked
got
up.
to lay
He
in a
admits it.
bed.
The man admits it.
He made a mistake.
Years he's been doing this. He probably knew he fucked up day 2.
Yeah, probably.
Oh shit! I didn't really think this through. Oh my gosh. Okay, what you got, Jeff?
All right, I got a game.
Okay.
This game we just played minutes ago before we recorded.
Yeah.
And this game is hot right now.
Yeah. Yep.
HOTTT.
HO 3 T's.
Yeah.
Wow. Triple
3
T.
T's.
Triple T.
Because I've seen this on Instagram everywhere. This game, because I think it kickstarted, released, boom, got to their backers fast.
Did
How'd
it?
you-
Was it a quick
How did you
turnaround
get
time?
it?
Yeah. Brotherwise was nice enough to send me the game to review
Very
and talk
cool.
about.
Nice.
And this game is called Overboss.
Underboss.
Over Underboss.
Over Underboss.
The
Under
Underboss
you,
really
under me.
underachieved. So this is by Brotherwise, and the only reason you might know Brotherwise is
Boss
they
Monster.
have Boss Monster. That's their huge hit,
Is
right?
that their only?
Well, they have Unearthed is Unearthed is
they
one of
did
them.
Unearthed.
Yeah, they have. I think they have
right.
I know that
one
one.
more big one, but Boss Monster I think is what gets people coming back.
Let's look them up.
That's their what do people call it? Like evergreen game, right? That's
Sure.
their game. I think
yeah,
that
that's
sells
like
all
the
the
one.
time.
Yeah.
And you might know right away looking at even the publisher icon and things like they have this very cool like 8-bit, 64-bit artwork.
It's
right?
really it's for our demographic. It's the perfect marketing
perfect,
tool.
yes.
Because you see this and it just evokes for all of us in our age bracket like Nintendo.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what you think of. You think
Yeah.
of it, so you just want it. For
And
that
Boss Monster, their first big hit, looked like the 8-bit Nintendo.
Oh, they did Call to Adventure too.
Okay, yeah, and that's a big one too.
Yeah.
But this Overboss has upgraded, I think, into more of a Super Nintendo look.
Yeah.
So when I look at this
Yeah.
game, it made me think of Link to the Past, which is like one of my
Yeah.
favorite video games of all time.
One of the greats.
And the artwork just is so awesome. Anyway,
It is. It's really good.
It's a tile drafting game, and I'll talk about the art again. But each tile is different. So even the terrain tiles that are all the same, like these are all forests. Each forest looks different.
Yeah.
And there's like little kind of things in each. It looks so
A lot
awesome.
of detail.
That's
Yeah.
cool. It kind of
So-
reminded me before you start. It reminded me of like a Skybound game. You know what I mean? Like where is it? It's a
Which one?
Sorcerer's City. It kind of
Oh,
gave
yeah.
me those feelings.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
you're right.
It was like really produced really well. It's got the nice insert, the tiles that you're laying down. So anyway,
Yeah.
keep going.
So it's a tile drafting game, and as you draft the tiles, you're making a map or a city. It plays 1 to 5, so if you're a soloer, you can go play that.
Oh, it plays up to 5.
And yeah,
That's cool. I like 5 games.
I like 5 game too.
5-player game. No, for
5-player
sure.
games because sometimes you end up having 5 people and you're
Yep.
like,
And
Yeah,
especially
there's a lot of not good stuff for 5.
especially something that plays in 30 minutes or under.
Yeah.
Did it take us 30 minutes?
No.
I explained it and played in probably
Yeah.
30.
I mean, drafting
So-
games typically
Yeah, it was
go
pretty
quick.
fast.
Right, and this would also, but 2 might take 20 minutes, 3 took 30. It doesn't increase exponentially, right? By
Yeah.
that much.
Yeah.
So
Like your superpower.
yeah, exactly. So what you're doing is you are a boss monster, right? You're trying to basically compete to conquer the overworld, which is the theme of the game.
Yep.
So you're creating this very awesome looking map full of different terrain, full of dungeons and graveyards and forests that to me reminds me of like if I was a superhero in an old video game, I have to run
Yeah, I
through
gotta
these
go through
tiles.
that
I got to
stuff
go through the
to get to the
graveyard.
boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everyone begins the game with either a 3x4 grid or a 4x4, depending on what side of the board you play with, which is pretty cool. All it does is increase how many tiles
But
you take.
you
So it
have
adds-
to use the same.
Right. So
Yeah.
we all use the 3x4 just to play really quick. And you also start with a boss monster that all has a special ability and a cool way to score. And really the game's super simple. You are drafting a set of tiles. One is a terrain tile and one is a monster token. So what was cool is we started and I had Natalie pick just cards randomly, and that determined which terrain tiles we were going to use in that game. So like I said, there's graveyards and forests, dungeons, castles, swamps, all this kind of different stuff. So you pick 6 of them. Well, you pick 5, and then the dungeon always has to be in there.
Oh, I see. That makes sense.
So the dungeon's always there, and then you pick 5 other ones. You shuffle these tiles or whatever Ryan was doing.
Okay, you guys, Jeff is a freak of nature with tile shuffling. These are like, what size are these tiles? They're like bigger than Carcassonne tiles. You know, like maybe double that size. Like, and Jeff's like, hey, can you help me shuffle these? And he's like this.
They're like squares.
He just like puts his thumbs in between like 2 stacks of like 20 of them, and just like they just naturally go together. And me, I'm like, oh, let me try that. And I do it, and they just like they're just like separate.
Fall apart.
How the fuck did you do that?
I don't know.
I can
didn't
confirm.
I
tried it too, and
it was driving me crazy because he was so easy for him.
He's just like, bloop.
He's like, you just like drop them once in a while and they go together. You ever zipped up a coat before, bitch?
What?
Yeah, you zip a coat, just zip them up. So
and then he hit me.
Yeah. So you take all those tiles and you shuffle them together and you create some different, stacks. And you draft the 2. You draft the 1 terrain tile and the 1 monster tile, and you do that until your entire board is full. Okay, so you then have a 3x4 or 4x4 grid of these tiles. And each terrain tile scores differently, just like Nidavellir, right?
Yeah.
So the forests basically score on how many forests you have, get you that many points. We had the desert, basically get you points for how many are touching. Like all the deserts have to be touching.
We had like Quadropolis.
Yeah.
Quadropolis, yep. Right. Quadropolis or between two cities.
Between 2 cities. Yeah, it's all very similar to that, where just things are so there's 10 different terrain tiles, or maybe 12, I don't know, but they all have a pretty unique way to score. Some of them deal with the outside of the board, which is kind of cool. They have to be adjacent to a cave or a water. Some of them want different tiles around them. So they all just score differently, which I like. So it really creates, which tile do I take? Like, this will give me certain points, but maybe if I take the desert, I got to wait for deserts, right? Yeah. This past game we were taking, I was like, where's all these desert tiles? Because I took one right away, and then it didn't come out for a while.
Right.
So you're kind of, getting anxious with that too. And
because I shuffled.
That's right.
There it is, all in one lump.
Yeah. So each terrain tile comes with its own like unique special monster, right? So all the castles that we had a vampire, right? And those all get shuffled up and dealt out too. And you need to add those monster tiles to the terrain tiles. And if they match, they get bonus points. You also have these cool tiles that'll let you switch those around. And it's really fun. You also want to create like what the game calls bands of monsters. Yep. So even if the 3 vampires aren't on the castle tile, if they're in a row or in a column, they get you bonus points, right?
Yeah.
And basically you just play until your entire grid is full. And you total up points for each terrain tile, the monster tile. Your boss monster has its own points, these chains of monsters, and then most points wins. It comes with a nice scoring pad, which is wonderful.
I love
it would be
a good scoring pad.
Yeah, it would be a nightmare to total up.
I hate just like,
get a piece of paper.
Yeah, get a piece of paper, or like, okay, that plus that. Yeah, and you got to calculate. Mm-hmm. I wish every game came with a score. I love those because it walks you through it one by one, so you're not missing anything, and it's just so nice and neat.
Yeah. So, do you want me to start with my thoughts?
Afterward, it goes in your fridge. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Goes in your
fridge. I thought for what this game was, it's great. For a quick, simple, easygoing, kind of fun experience, it's a really great game. Mm-hmm. It's not going to win like Game of the Year, going to break your brain or something like, wow, what a deep game this is. But for what this game is, a 30-minute tile laying game, it's fun. I've already played it. I've had it a couple weeks. I've already played it 4 or 5 times.
Oh, yeah?
I played it with Devin once. Bill and I played it once. I played it with Joe. We played it at game night. We just played it here. Like, it just it'll come up because it's 9:30. Game night ends at 10. Let's just play Overboss, right? It's so simple to get out. I also think it's just like, it's fun and maybe nostalgic a little bit, looking at the art, placing them, just seeing it all come together. It looks cool, right? The board I thought looks cool. I like the boss monsters. That's like your private card that you get that has a special point. I think that adds a little bit to the game.
Yeah.
You start with 2, you get to pick one, so you can always kind of swap them up. If you got the Kickstarter edition, you got some extra ones that other people don't have. I think the one extra is the designer of the game, and the other one is... It's like the Brothers Wise or something, which is the publisher.
Brother Wise.
So they made some cool
That's cool.
I'd say my dislikes, I don't love it at 2 because the tiles don't rotate as much. So when Devin and I played, I picked one, and she only essentially got to see one new tile on her turn. So we didn't see as much. Like we didn't see a lot. I'm surprised
there wasn't just a mechanism for 2 players where it's like you replace the one and then you pick one of the other ones to go away.
Yeah,
and then replaces again.
Yeah, that could have been cool.
Yeah,
or maybe we only start with 6 of each tile instead of 12.
Yeah,
to make sure that we could see them and not
variety.
seeing a whole. Yeah, but that's a nitpick, I think. So I would just say it maybe shines more at 3 to 5.
Sure.
And what I do think would be cool is, but maybe this takes away from the quickness of the game, but like it would be cool if maybe an expansion, maybe some hero has to go through your dungeon, right?
Yeah,
like,
when you were explaining
cool?
the rules, that's the one thing I felt too that I wouldn't say it missed, but that would be awesome because you're building a dungeon for a hero to go through. You want to see the hero go through it.
Maybe they already know. Maybe they're planning it, right? And that's like the next step. They would see how popular this game was. But yeah, if there's something, everybody gets their own hero to start too, and that hero has to go through, and he, you get a point if he has to go through every whatever tile, right?
Right.
I think that would be a neat addition to the game to kind of elevate it.
You gotta stop him from getting to the end. He gets to the end. Like if you have a matching tile on terrain, it's harder for him to get through it.
Something
that
cool.
Would be so
that would be a
awesome.
fun addition. So if you're listening, Brotherwise, why don't you just make that and send it to me, and we'll play it. But Overboss, I would recommend it being in your collection because it's super simple. It's really fun. What did you guys think?
I have to agree with you. I have to agree with you at pretty much everything you said. I love the tile drafting kind of games. They have a really good flow to them. And this one had a really, really, really good flow. We just went, my turn, Natalie's turn, Jeff's turn, my turn, Natalie's turn. There wasn't like
a reset or like, do these. Yeah.
And there was never like, what does this do? How do I do that? You know what I mean? And I mean, in a game that's this light, you don't want to have that. So it's not that it's not, I wouldn't say that's necessarily a mark in its favor that it doesn't have that. But it certainly, to Jeff's point, makes a game very like infinitely replayable if you don't have to go through the rules again. I feel like if I didn't play that for 2 weeks, I would still know how to play.
Yeah, you're right. Like just
after
like I
playing
probably will
again.
never have to read
like
the
right
rules
now,
again.
you don't have to read the rules again. But at the same time, it doesn't feel so light that you're getting nothing out of it.
Yeah.
So it's almost like there's like a filler. It's a filler game, definitely.
It's like a filler plus.
It's like a filler plus.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's like a filler plus. It's like the rules wise it's not big, but it still feels like you're playing like a game.
Right.
It doesn't feel like you're just playing a little filler game.
Yeah.
To me.
And
it
it's
feels like
got,
you're
like,
making something.
It's got like the randomness that is okay because it's like more like a filler type game.
Yeah.
Good point.
So it also has the artwork.
Yeah.
The artwork is
cool.
so cool. I mean, that's like Boss Monsters kind of like bread and butter is the artwork.
Yeah.
I honestly know more about the artwork on that game than I do the gameplay itself. And when you see the Overboss box, your eyes are just like, you can't look anywhere else. It's gorgeous. And then you see the artwork on the cards itself, and it's like Jess said, like where the Boss Monsters, like the 8-bit graphics. This is now, we've gotten into the 16 or the whatever it's called.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
16,
whatever.
Probably
the,
16 or 16.
The Super Nintendo had,
Yeah.
And it's just like a little bit less pixelated. There's more detail, but you can still tell it's that Super Nintendo-y kind of video gamey stuff. So it's really evocative. The tiles are beautiful. Like Jeff said, they're all different, which is awesome. It's just really fun to look at the game. And then you're making this dungeon, and it's always fun to make something, in a game so it kind of felt Euro in that way. It's got this really Ameritrashy theme, but it felt Euro in the way where you're just building your layer to get points. It's that kind of mechanism stuff. It's very Euro. And I really, really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was very quick, which was very good. I thought it was really fun. It just had a fun factor, just deciding what tile to pick. It had a really cool tension aspect where, like Jeff mentioned, he got a desert tile. And so he took that tile hoping to get more tiles. Like, I'm going to put this right here. And then when I get future desert tiles, I'm going to connect them to the one that's already out. But they don't come up for a while sometimes, because of the shuffle.
Yeah.
And so that's just inherent tension that Jeff feels now. Like, oh my god, like he's playing the game, but in the back of his mind, he's like, I got to get some more freaking desert tiles.
Yeah.
And then his turn ends, and when your turn ends, you refill the market. So
And then a
Jeff's
desert
turn ends,
tile
and then a
comes
desert tile comes out, and so he's got to survive 2 more turns. Like, does Ryan want that? Does Natalie want that?
Yeah.
And he's sitting there like,
Or
and that's the kind of tension I love in games where you're just sitting there, you like got your hands over your eyes. You're like, I don't want to look. I don't want to look.
Yeah.
And then you open your eyes, it's like, yeah, it's there. Or you open your eyes, and you're like, damn it, you took it. And that's really fun, and that's where I think a lot of the fun comes in the game like that. So that's my thought. I really enjoyed it. I would buy this game.
Yeah.
I think it fits a spot in a collection.
I think so,
you know what I mean? Even with a ton of other games, it's light enough, it's smart enough, and gosh darn it, people like it.
Yeah.
What do you think, Natalie?
I mean, I agree with you guys. Kind of like what you said with the desert tile. Like in my situation, I did pull a desert tile, and then I was kind of like saving spots for it, and then they weren't coming out, and I was like had to make a decision.
Eventually,
like,
I gotta fill it up.
Right? Do I fill it up, or do I just hope one comes out still? And so that kind of stuff is fun. And I think my favorite part about the game is that because you're pulling these 2 tile, like a tile and a token, at the same time, and they don't always match up the way you want them to. It's almost like, and the tiles and the tokens like score differently. Mm-hmm. And so you're playing, it's kind of like 2 layers. You're like playing like 2 different games in one game.
Yeah,
and I thought that was like really cool.
Yeah, because you might draft a set for the monster, or you might draft it for the terrain tile.
Right.
Yeah, good point.
So it's like,
love
it's like
those-
just because it doesn't
those
match,
dual
or just
tiles.
because it doesn't have, this, then doesn't mean you can't score it in a way, this other way, like
You'd
the
think
fans
that
or
like adding those little tiles on top of the bigger tiles would make it maybe confusing or like complicated or overly.
Yeah, it
but it doesn't. It's almost, it needs that. It's
Yeah.
like that little extra thing elevates it from that filler to a filler plus. You know,
Yeah.
Because
Filler plus,
that's
I
a
like that.
great point that you made about. Okay, I want that. I really want that little minion. But I don't really care so much about the tile. But I can make the tile work to get the points for that.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. You're like, okay, I'll take that tile. I guess I can suffer through that minion. I'll put him on, on a different
Maybe I
tile.
can move him.
Yeah, they can
Yeah.
move him later. And those little decisions really wrap the game up in a nice little package.
Yeah.
So I think it's really good.
Yeah, and that adds to the theme, right? Of like, think about playing a video game. You get into this part, and now it's like, oh boy, now I have to fight a monster that's in this area.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, if they match, you get an extra point because that boss is stronger, right?
Yeah.
He's in his own zone. That's
why I wanna see a hero fighting him.
Yeah, the skeleton is in the graveyard. I have to fight him.
Gotta
there.
fight that graveyard.
Yeah, I would be
good.
shocked if there wasn't something additional added to this game to make it a filler plus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because of I think this game is extremely successful for them. Just based on, I don't know their sales numbers or the QuickBooks, but I know from seeing on Instagram and seeing people rate it on Board Game Geek that it has a high rating on Board Game Geek already, and people are posting about it a lot on Instagram.
Yeah.
There's
so
not a
people
lot
are
not
seeing
to
it.
like.
Yeah, so people are seeing it, so they might.
Right.
And I know they've created a ton of boss monster expansions, little mini things.
Yeah.
I would be shocked if they didn't add another set of tiles, another bunch of boss monsters, or even just a little. Yeah, maybe like the hero coming through your.
What do
layer,
you
your
say
dungeon.
about this
That'd be
game
cool.
in the negative? I'm looking at it, and I mean,
I would say
other than like, I didn't find it too fun. I don't really. And I
Yeah.
guess the 2-player.
my thing would be like
yeah.
2-player. You don't see as many tiles. Could I house rule that and fix it by taking out some of the tiles? Sure.
I guess I could see somebody that didn't find it interesting.
Yeah.
Like I found it fun. I could see somebody just going like, well, these decisions aren't really that interesting. Like I'm clearly going to take that one. That's going to give me another point.
Or
that was
people
going to
who
give me
just
2
aren't
points.
into games
Yeah.
I
like
can
that.
see that, but
Yeah.
I don't know. For what this game was, like you said, I think it's a home run. Slam dunk.
Yeah. So that is Overboss.
Agreed.
Overboss, Brother Wise. When we come back, you will hear a lot of podcasts do this where they just like take breaks.
Like, when we
Let's
come
take an
back.
arbiry break. Yeah,
And then, like,
But it's
and
like
then
there's
the
no
office
break. It
ladies
just
don't
goes
break.
right back
why
to the
do
thing.
they, well, it drives me freaking crazy. The office ladies do this. We listen to the office ladies. I'm going to say the office ladies.
Office ladies.
Well,
You know,
sometimes they
it's-
do have ads.
Yeah, sometimes. But other
they
times they're
don't.
like, you know what? I think I want some tea. Let's take a break. What do you think? Yeah, let's take a break. And the music comes in. Bow, bow, bow. And then nothing. And then Boom, boom, boom. Okay, we're back. It's like, why did you even do that?
3 seconds passed.
You didn't. You could just literally cut that out. No one would give a. No one cares if you're taking a break. It doesn't do anything to the show. It's not like a paragraph break. You know what I mean? It's not like, okay, good. I'm glad that they're talking about a thought, and then they take a break. That makes no sense, and then they continue that thought.
Right. They take an actual break. But the podcast that you're listening to, there's no actual.
It makes no sense. I hate that. On that note, we're gonna take a break, and we'll be right back with some more jokes. So stay tuned. And we're back. See how stupid that was? Stupid.
Yes.
All right. So here we go. You guys ready for joke number 4? Go. Here we go. 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 All right. Joke number 4. Here we are. A man on vacation with his family arrives at a hotel. As he's checking in, he says to the clerk, "Hey, I'm on vacation with my family, so please make sure the porn channel is disabled." The clerk replies in disgust, "It's just regular porn, you sick fuck." I'll say it again. "Please make sure the porn channel is disabled."
Oh. Okay. I get it.
I know. I was like, oh no, I don't get it.
What did he say?
We both were just like staring at him in silence.
Let me say it again. I'll repeat.
I was like, I could tell this is not going on. All right. Joke number 5. I don't know if I'm going to get through this one.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
This one's so stupid. You've heard of Murphy's Law, right?
Yeah.
Right? You've heard of Murphy's Law?
Yeah.
It says anything can go wrong will go wrong.
Oh, boy.
Oh god.
But
Like this joke?
Oh, no. Natalie with her own zinger.
Bazinga.
you've heard of Murphy's Law, right? It says that anything...
Oh, boy.
It says that anything that can go wrong will go wrong. But have you heard of...
Oh, my gosh.
Maybe
We're going to be right back. We're going to take a short break.
boom, boom,
Boom, boom, boom, boom.
You've heard of Murphy's Law, right?
Yeah.
It says that anything that can go
Still heard
wrong
of it.
will go wrong. But have you heard of...
Heard of what? Say it.
Hey, Natalie, have you heard of Murphy's Law by any chance?
But have you heard of...
Yes, I have.
This better be the funniest joke I've ever heard in my life.
Dude, it's not. I just can't say it. I'm reading it. I can't fucking say it. But you've heard of Murphy's Law, right?
My
Yeah,
God, stop
yeah,
saying
yeah.
It says that anything that can go wrong will go wrong. Have you heard of Cole's Law? It's thinly sliced cabbage.
He already said. What did he even
You
say?
said it's thinly sliced cabbage?
Coleslaw. I get it.
Oh, I get it. Coleslaw.
Oh, my God. I was like, what did you heard you say?
I couldn't get through that. Reading
Coleslaw.
Cole's Law is thinly sliced cabbage.
Oh, my
Jeff's like, what
gosh.
did he say?
Oh, you know what he said.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Okay. All right. And then I'll tell joke number 6, and then Jeff's got another one. How many you got? 2 more games?
I don't know. Yeah, 2, 5,
right.
who knows?
Why do scuba divers fall backwards out of the boat? You guys know?
Why?
Well, because if they fell forwards, they'd still be in the boat.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so stupid.
They're all stupid. They're all Cole's Law.
That's like,
That
this is not the...
Oh God.
This is not the best. This won't be the best delivery of this joke, but there's
can't
something where it's like guy goes to get his physical, right? Mm-hmm. You know, physical.
Yep.
If you're a guy, you got to turn your head and cough, right?
Yep.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
checking for
That whole thing.
you know, what is
Prostate.
that? Yeah, it takes. Yeah. No, it's for like a hernia or something. I think it's a hernia check. But anyway, so they grab the goods.
They cup them.
I don't
And they
have
say,
those
turn your head
parts.
and cough. And the guy says, well, why do I have to turn
Your goods move.
Why do I have to turn my head? Well, so you don't cough in my face. So,
Yeah.
That's probably true.
yeah.
Turn your head.
I wonder if, like, when you turn your head, the tendons from your neck joint all the way to your ball joint wiggle.
Cough forward.
Oh, that tendon.
And cough.
God, I hope I don't pull that. What hurts? My neck and my balls.
Yeah.
It hurts from my neck to my balls.
Oh, the old neck ball tendon
Oh, I pulled it.
is full.
Oh, man.
Yeah, like the right side of your neck is connected to the right ball.
Yeah.
The left side of the neck's connected to the
That's
left
why
ball.
it hurts so much.
It's like
What if you
Song.
sever that tendon? What happens?
Something, they fall off. It's like a ball on a string. You cut the string, it falls off.
But they got a little pouch to hold them in.
Well, then they're just sitting in the pouch.
Yeah.
Just rolling around.
They're just not attached to your body anymore.
Just free balling.
Is that what that means?
Yeah, I don't know.
Free balling. Does it mean when your balls are just like out?
Yes, I don't really think that's what free balling means, Natalie. There's no neck ball tendon. Damn it. Bow, bow, bow.
And
We'll be back after this break.
Oh, God. Okay, Jeff, what game you got, man?
Okay.
That was a dumb sentence.
I got a
You got
game.
any games?
I got a game.
What?
It's not getting better.
Let's talk about a game. This game came out a little bit ago. Not a little bit ago, but in the Cult of the New, it seems like an eternity, right? 2017.
Cole's Law.
Right? Cole's Law.
You're like,
Oh, it's not that funny.
he's like, what?
You guys ever heard of Murphy's Law? Have you ever heard of Murphy's Law?
Yes.
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 Coleslaw. Boom. Cabbage.
Oh, God. It hurts so bad. I mean, it wasn't funny, though, right?
I think the whole thing was
It was
funny.
kind of funny.
Okay.
The whole 5 minutes of that joke.
It was funnier than the other one.
Hey, I told like 7.
Which one? All the other ones? That one's the best one, but she says it wasn't funny? Man.
All of the other jokes are just the one.
The
Yep.
scuba diver one.
I thought that was funny, but you didn't get it at first. 'Cause
That
you were
was
looking
funny.
up like, what?
Yeah,
They were sitting
but
on the edge
then
of
once
the
I
boat,
got
and they
it,
fall.
it wasn't
Then
funny.
it wasn't funny.
And the coleslaw one was funnier, even though you ruined
Once
it
you got
with the
it.
execution.
Sorry.
I don't know. Might have made it better.
Yeah, maybe.
I cut the joke's head off.
Maybe
Get
you
it? The
did.
execution? Okay, I'm sorry. Go on.
I get it. This game's called Paper Tales. You guys heard of Paper Tales?
No.
Yes.
Of course I have.
Yeah. Have you heard of Paper Tales?
I have
Okay.
heard of the name.
The cool thing
know.
The
that
box cover is the best thing ever.
that's what drew me to this game immediately was the box cover.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
Is it about paper airplanes?
Nope.
Okay.
Here. This is what the box cover looks like. And it's not about paper airplanes.
Why would you think it's about paper
Paper
airplanes?
Tales.
Tail. Oh, is it like the airplane, like the white stuff? That
Why do you keep
leaves
thinking it's about
behind?
planes?
It's not about,
Oh.
why are you going?
Why do
Why
I
do you
think it's
think?
about
What the hell?
You just assume it's about paper
I
airplanes.
know.
Paper airplane tales.
Oh, I see the tails because the planes in
Paper
the air.
tails.
Oh, paper-
like books.
It's like concrete
Paper
airplanes.
tales. Sure.
Just tell us what it's about, Jeff.
Okay. So it was on my radar because of the cover, right? Cover's beautiful looking. So again, if you put investment into some art, you're going to get some attention because this artwork on the cover is cool.
Yeah, the marketing geniuses who came up with that one have
Yes.
really outdone themselves.
And I also heard both Gaaaame and Jerry on the Snobs both enjoyed it. And
Really?
for how little I put into Jerry's recommendations of any games, I did want to
Were
check
you
this one
inclined
out.
not to play it
Yeah, I was
after he
like,
said
you know
it
what,
was
I'm
good?
not going to because it's Jerry. But I was like, I want to try Paper Tales because they don't like a lot of games. So let me just see maybe what's in their style,
Sure.
right? So this game is another drafting game. So this is we're now in this is like our theme now is like
Yeah,
drafting. So this is a
drafting.
card drafting game,
Airplanes.
and
I don't know what
you're
is
drafting
happening. I feel like
airplanes.
a dumb.
You're drafting paper airplanes.
Well, that
you
makes
take the
sense.
cards and you fold them into paper airplanes.
Yeah, and the draft is like the wind breeze from
Yeah.
Natalie's buttocks.
Hey.
Sorry.
Ooh, from the buttocks. It's for 2 to 5, and I'm going to tell you the 2-player variant in a minute because the 2-player variant in this is good.
Oh,
That's
okay.
Because with drafting, you'd think like, oh, I'm just passing them back and forth.
Yeah,
this is a
right.
good 2-player variant, but I'll get there. 2 to 5, again, another 5-player game.
Yeah.
That again plays in about the same amount of time as you'd play a 2-player game with.
Does it
Again,
come with
good.
a third player?
Yeah, it just folds up. You just you have to blow it up.
Hello,
Yeah.
I'm Jeffrey.
Yep.
That's him.
Oh, really?
Really?
That's me.
Is it?
I come with all versions of Paper Tales.
Real quick, that
Yeah.
reminded me of that one time, the first time I think we went to Ben and Emily's house, and there was like a mosquito eater in their house, and,
Oh,
and
yeah.
their daughter was
They
like,
named
his
it
name is Jeff. We're like,
Oh,
haha,
yeah.
Jeff.
I'm like, oh, Jeff's
Yeah,
here.
the mosquito eater.
Jeff's here with us. Yeah, Jeff
the
the
mosquito
Bye,
eater.
guys.
That's your
Yeah.
new nickname.
Yeah, the mosquito eater.
Mosquito eater.
That's my
Jeff the
superpower.
mosquito eater.
Yeah,
His power is eating mosquitoes.
that's great.
Gross. Yeah.
Bloody. Ew.
Oh,
Nasty. How are
card
you so
drafting
gross?
game about paper airplanes. So you're drafting, essentially assembling characters and developing your town. Okay. And you want to become the ruler of all the kingdoms, most points, blah, 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 right? So some pasted on sort of theme. Each turn, what you end up doing is you end up drafting 5 cards, and then you place those cards in your kingdom. Okay. So your kingdom starts as a 2x2 grid. So you have 2 in the front, 2 in the back. Nope, don't say it right. Okay.
No.
So you have so you have 5, and then you have like a leftover card, right? The cards in the front row are going to be used to attack, and the cards in the back row are just kind of backup. They don't attack. They just provide you with what's on the card. So the card will provide you resources or money or anything like that. But the 2 in the front will fight. Okay. So once you have drafted, you have you kind of put your cards face down to start with. You flip them over. You pay for them if they have a cost.
Okay.
And then you fight your neighbors. Okay. So I would fight Ryan, and I would fight Natalie, and then Natalie would fight me and Ryan. You know. So
7 Wonders style.
Yes, 7 Wonders style. This is almost like that's just the combat of 7 Wonders, and there's a little bit more of like some resource stuff. This would be like 7 Wonders, even lighter than 7 Wonders, I think. Also, a much smaller footprint on the table.
Okay.
So all these cards, other than even some providing you fight, provide you like income resources. They earn you points sometimes in various ways. And after combat, you get to get your income, and then you can construct buildings, which are kind of cool.
Okay.
So you have everybody has a set of like 4, 5 buildings that everybody has, but you can create them in whatever order you want. So the town hall, the brewery, the something, right?
Yep.
So I use my resources that are on my cards that round to then build those little construction buildings. They also then, those buildings provide you some resources, some money, and some different ways of scoring. And what's cool is then at the end of that round, each of your cards get like this age token on it, right? So the age. And they're essentially like, they're dying, right?
Yeah, okay.
So if there's ever age token at the end of the round on one of your cards, it has to discard and go away.
Okay.
So you couldn't just like, for some reason, find the best 4 cards and just put them there and then just win the whole game, right?
Yeah.
So you're finding this kind of cool rotation of cards as cards die, but you can also like fire cards kind of and just get rid of them and add new ones to your city.
I wonder if that was added on because they were like, oh, this is too powerful.
So is it like
Let's
a battle
figure out a way.
game?
Yeah, so I think that you could I think that you could win without fighting. I think.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I don't
Recommend it?
It would be, yes. I would say you have to win occasionally, right? I couldn't go 0 for the entire game. Like,
Sure.
there's only
Yeah.
4 rounds, I think.
So you're
I
like-
couldn't lose all 8 battles to you
So
two.
kind of like a real battle. You're like they're like fighting, and then the people in the front lines probably like get killed, and then new people come.
Yeah, so then you're basically like
you're thinking that's the
cycling
thematic
out. Could be that, yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, so they all age, or they all like they get these age tokens, and then if they ever have them on there, they
yeah.
die and
You
they
know
go
what I
away.
mean.
I do. No, I think
And the
you're
people
probably
behind
right.
them move up, and they're in the front lines. battling.
They don't
Stepping
have
all over
to,
their
you can.
friends.
Yeah. So you basically do that. So I would get
quite
5
dead.
cards every round, and I would be able to swap out my kingdom with whatever 4 cards I want that I feel like is best that round.
Okay.
And then the age tokens kill the ones off.
This is
so you have
not
to
what I thought
replace
this
them.
game was.
Me
Yeah.
neither, not
Right?
at all.
It's cool
I
if
thought
you.
it was about planes.
Yeah, I thought it was about planes.
Why
Fighter
did you
planes.
think that?
Yeah. So what's cool is when you build any of those construction buildings, the town hall or whatever, you get to then it increases your kingdom a little bit. So now you get 3 in the front row and 2 in the back row. So now I'm fighting with 3 cards against the 2 of you.
Yeah.
So you almost have to like
Okay.
make sure you keep up with that a little
Got
bit.
it.
Yeah.
You, if you're the only one with a 2x2 in round 2 or 3, you're in some trouble.
Okay.
Even if the third one isn't fighting but providing you cool resources to build. And it's very fast. So it plays 4 rounds. So you're only drafting 4 times. And it's over. And then there's some points at the end of the game for those construction buildings.
another
that
filler
you built.
plus?
Another filler plus.
Oh, okay.
Plays in 30, 35, 40 minutes.
Oh, geez.
So-
that is filthy.
Yes.
quick.
So the 2-player variant is actually pretty cool. So you get a hand of 9 or 7 or whatever the hand is. I pick one to keep, and then I discard one, and then I pass it to the other player.
Okay.
So what's cool about that is you have a decision of the discard, which when Joe and I played heads up, that was important. I looked at how much money Joe had. Joe only has $4. So I'm going to keep the $6 card in there because he's never going to be able to build it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to keep that one in there. I'm going to get rid of one that I know he needs.
Sure.
And then pass it, which I thought was kind of cool. Or is that card awesome? Do I try to keep it in there so I then get it back right away?
Right.
Maybe, right? Or I have 6,
Yeah.
so I'm going to keep it in there, of course.
Interesting.
So I thought that was a cool way to handle the 2-player instead of just pass it back and forth or having like the dead hand, right? Where it's like I pick up and then I pass it to nobody.
Yes.
And then you cycle that around. I thought
Yeah.
that was a much better way to do that. I think it's pretty underrated. I don't hear a ton of people talking about Paper Tales, but it's going to stay in my collection. And
It's weird.
like,
I kind of see it. I see it like
I've
now and
definitely
then.
heard
Yeah.
of it.
You know?
Maybe from the snow.
But you're right. I don't hear like a ton. I don't know how to explain it.
yeah, and I'm not going to say it's not going to like replace or like again we talked about killing games,
Yeah,
right? It's not going to replace Seven
Yeah.
Wonders or Hadara, but this game is shorter.
Hadara.
The footprint is small, and the cards there's a ton of cards to be able to like create these cool combos. Like there's one card that I liked that will allow you to take an age token off of one.
Oh.
Or there are certain cards that give you points for age tokens that are on there. So you want to play that in a round that has...
Yeah.
So they're not all just like fighting resources.
Right.
Some of them give you kind of points throughout the game.
that.
So in case if I don't win some fight or I'm getting cards that aren't fighting cards, how can I now get points this round? Because everybody else is going to get points.
Yeah.
And
I like that. So you're not completely screwed.
right, it's not just like fighting and you're doomed.
Right.
These cards have very cool abilities on them as well. And it's a cool game.
That does sound cool.
I was wrong about the battle thing
About the
because
planes.
it's not like they're in a battle and like the front dies.
I know, I said that. So they're just aging.
Yeah. Well, I guess. Okay, you're right. You did say age.
They don't like shift, right?
Yeah,
So-
it says like generations to grow and die.
yeah, so they're just getting
So,
older.
yeah, so it's like fighting for dominance over generations.
Yeah.
is more like the theme.
Right. Okay, well, there you go. But like there is one card that starts with an age token on it. It's like the veteran, whatever. He's had like a strong fight, but he starts with an age
Yeah.
token. So at the
Yeah.
end of that round, he dies. He doesn't even last
Yeah.
another round.
Okay.
And I think there's a very cool. It's obviously got a lot of replayability with how many cards you can have, but I think there are some really cool card combinations that you can play with. Right?
Yeah.
I've played it a few times now, 2 or 3 times, and I see different sets of cards and different sets of cards working together the times that I've played it, which I like. It's not just like, oh, of course I'm going to take these cards. These are the best.
Right.
It's fun to kind of explore the different
Yeah.
combos that you can make with these cards.
That's cool.
So again, another like
Yeah, no,
these last
That
3
is-
games
like
have
you
really
said,
sit
it's
into
not
that
what
like
I
No,
expected.
I've
I
seen
know.
the box a billion times. I never would have in a million years thought it was something like that.
So that's like 3 games probably
Maybe if you gave me a
sitting
billion
definitely under that
Who'd you play that
$40 mark. I played it with
Joe.
Joe, just 2-player, and then I played it 4-player at game night. When we played Nidavellir and then we played Paper Tales all on the same.
What did they all think?
I think everybody kind of liked it. Joe and I liked the 2-player. We talked about the 2-player variant being a good way to implement 2 players in
Yeah.
this type of card drafting
Yeah.
game because again, I don't like that set of cards that just sits next to you and that's the one you kind of rotate around. I
Right.
don't
Yeah.
like that. It feels dumb.
Right.
Like it feels like a pasted on thing. This feels like there's a little more strategy in what I want to discard.
Sure.
And yeah, I would check that out. There's 3 like drafting games that again fall in that. What were we saying? Something plus
Filler plus.
filler plus
Filler
games
plus, yeah.
that I think are great ways to begin a game night to end a game night. If you're looking for 30 to 45 minute games, Overboss, Nidavellir, and Paper Tales are
That's cool.
Nice.
This is a filler plus episode.
Yeah.
Sure
So
is.
that was, hold on, let's take a break.
Oh my god.
Paper Tales.
Paper Tales.
Awesome. Very cool. All right. Are you guys ready for more jokes?
Yep.
Got jokes and jokes and jokes. Here we go. Joke number 7. I don't know why I feel the need to tell you what number joke we're
I
on.
know,
because
just
at
like
the end we're gonna have to
that
rank
is-
them. That's
Okay,
the game
good.
where
Oh,
Natalie and I
that-
get split.
I like
rank
that
and
idea.
joke.
Well, Natalie thinks I've only told 2.
No.
Yes,
That
and
was
one
better
is
than
way
the last
funnier
one.
than the other one.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. This joke encapsulates there's 4 jokes in here, kind of because they're all in the similar vein. Okay?
Okay.
Number 1, joke 7A. Nothing's funnier than numbering jokes, right?
Yeah.
What's red and bad for your teeth? A brick. What's
Okay.
green and fuzzy and hurts when it falls from a tree? A pool table.
What?
What's orange and sounds like a parrot? A carrot.
I get it.
And then, how do you think the unthinkable? With an iceberg.
Because he's got like a lisp.
Sink the unsinkable.
Oh.
Like, you get it?
I'm like, what?
Seeing Natalie's blank stare is one of the
That was
greatest
good.
things ever.
That's the last joke. 7D was there looking at
7D
the face.
was the
7C
best
was whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, so, wait, okay, so we've had.
I like the carrot one.
That's the best.
Well, out of those
I like
four.
Oh,
turtles.
good job, my little handsome man. That was just the best one. Oh, your jokes are just so cute. Yeah, they're so cute. Good job. Did you tell them to your friends?
Oh my gosh, I have 2 more. Should I wait until? Do you have another game to talk about, or is that it?
I got another game.
All right, talk about another game, and I'll tell the last 2.
He
Okay.
played so many games.
I
these
got
last
so
I know.
I got games. This game
His host
is
got game.
unkinked.
looks like you would pronounce it very differently. I'm going to spell it to you, Natalie, and I want
Okay.
you to tell me how, because you like to correct the way that I say things. Now, so this game is spelled. Do you need to write it down, or can you visualize
You
this?
correctly said what happens in the game, aging. She looked up and was like, no, actually, it's not dying. The thing,
it's
the
AG.
front row thing, I was wrong, actually. What it is this. You're like, yeah, like I said. And then she was like,
Sorry.
yeah, well. Oh, I guess you did say
That's
that.
my bad.
So, do you need to write this down,
Steph
or
is
do you know
right
how to
and I am
spell it?
wrong.
No.
Do I know how to spell?
Or sorry, do you know how to? Can you visualize this?
I know my letters.
Okay, ready? You know your letters. It's true. Okay.
Yeah, I can
Do I know how to
visualize.
spell?
Okay.
Caretos.
Caretos. Caretos?
Yeah, it looks like Caretos.
It does.
If I told you it was Portuguese, would that change the way you said that
It's
word?
pronounced Portuguese.
No, it is Portuguese.
No.
Caretos.
See, that's how I would have said it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ryan is very close.
Oh,
Nice.
Portuguese.
It's Caritos.
caritos. Oh, it's a sh at the
Yeah,
end?
which is weird. So
There's a
I believe it's a noun, so it's not like so it's.
Nestor, tell us if we're
I've
correct
never
on
heard
this
of
Yeah.
pronunciation.
So
He's
and
not
maybe
Isn't he
Portuguese?
Doesn't he speak Portuguese? No,
Does
somebody.
he?
No. Maybe it's somebody out there speaks Portuguese.
someone.
Yeah.
out there. Anybody
Somebody,
listening?
somebody that listens to us speaks Portuguese.
Yeah.
I think. What is Ariel? Is that Portuguese?
I don't know. Spanish. Nestor speaks Spanish. He
more
writes
like
all his books in
Latin.
Spanish, so
Okay, so maybe it's not.
that's why I can't read them.
I mean, Nestor might know another language besides
I'm looking up
Spanish.
Nestor's smarter
Ariel,
than I am. He probably
because
knows.
whatever language Ariel is, yeah, Portuguese. I think it's Nestor.
Okay, so here it is.
think it's
Here's
Nestor.
why I should have known that, because Meebo makes Ariel and makes Caritos as well.
yeah.
So Meebo
Okay,
is
that
a
makes
Portuguese company.
And
so
Nestor loves the Ryle.
I looked up
I think it's Nestor.
I looked up how to play this game. I wanted to watch a video about it, and the beginning of both videos talked about the pronunciation and wanting it to be pronounced right. So Caritos is the name of the game.
Caritos.
Yes.
Cool. Okay.
So this is an area apparently in northern Portugal, okay, that is known for sightings of supernatural creatures. So there's
What?
this area. Yep.
Shut the fuck up.
So
That's real?
some
kind
of the
of
supernatural
supernatural?
creatures are the Caritos. So these Caritos are the supernatural
What do they look like?
creatures. Okay, so they are like, think
I
of
show
like
it. Look at this.
big, tall, kind of like
They're like
monster things,
rainbows.
and they have like they're like almost rainbow colored.
Rainbows.
Can you see this?
Yeah, tall, rainbow colored, like striped sort of
They kind of look like they're dressed in the
creatures,
Mexican
right?
flag.
So these, I think these
people
celebrations
dressed up in
celebrate
rainbow.
Yeah, these people like I'm assuming you're looking at people in the pictures.
Oh,
Yep.
they are
are
people.
are people celebrating this sort of like tradition,
Gotcha.
this Portuguese tradition. So apparently in northern Portugal, there's
That's
people are there. It's known that there are sightings of these supernatural creatures. Okay.
The Caritos. It says they are. Well, I just really saw that. I saw this real quick. I wanted to say this. Damn it! Where did I just read it? It said they're dressed. Here you go. Caritos. Caritos are masked young men dressed in suits made of colorful fringe wool quilts, wearing brass, leather, or wooden masks in rattles in their belts.
Ooh.
Interesting.
And there's Shrove Tuesday and the prior Sunday are days when the Caritos are most active.
Boom.
They appear in groups from every corner of the village. Okay,
I think the
Wait,
people
they
who
rob
saw these
people?
They're not
Running
good.
and shouting excitedly, frightening the people,
Yes.
and robbing all the wineries.
So they like
the
so
winery.
That's what it says.
if you're
Sounds like
Portuguese, you
people
can
on
correct me if I'm
drugs.
wrong, but they're this like I don't know if this is like a celebration of something, but the Caritos are these people like are these supernatural creatures that scare
Yeah.
people.
Well, according to Wikipedia.
Yeah, but again, this might be like the celebration of something,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a 2 to 4 player game. It takes about an hour. And the board is huge. It's a large board for what you think the game would be, but it's a big board. It's a village. So the board is the village, and there's a bunch of pathways around this village that basically run from point to point. Okay. Spaces along the pathways, pretty just standard. Like if you were like, let me put a map and put some dots on the map, that's what it looks like. The art on there is very cool though, so it's not like just that basic. And what's cool is you are the monsters in this game.
I love being the monsters.
cool.
So you take the role of these Portuguese monsters. So each person is 2 Portuguese monsters, and you have the role of scaring and capturing these villagers.
Wow.
Which is kind of cool. I don't play lots of themes like that.
Yeah, that's different.
So on your turn, what you do is
the
you play
wineries.
one card that's one of 3 colors. Okay. And then
Red, yellow, or green?
I think it's blue, yellow, and like a reddish pink.
Okay, because those look like the colors on the
Yeah. I don't believe it's green.
Okay.
So
There's green.
there's green meeples for
Yeah,
sure.
there's
Caritos.
Yeah,
like saying that
Caritos.
word. Caritos.
And so you play one of those. It's one of the 3 colors, and then you choose one of your monsters, one of your like creatures,
Yeah.
to activate based on that color. So each monster has a picture of the monster, and then what it would do based on the color card that you play. So this monster activates differently when I play a yellow card versus this monster does something different when I play the yellow card, right?
Okay.
So when I play yellow, I choose which monster I want to activate, and then I activate it.
Yeah.
If I happen to play a card now with the same symbol that I had just played, I get to activate both cards in that color, which is kind of cool. So you want to pay attention to color and symbols as you're playing cards. And most actions really just allow you to move around the board and scare groups of villagers in different ways. So each kind of part of the village starts with these groups of meeples on it. And if you move your spirit into a group of meeples, they like scatter. Okay. So they then run into all these different paths around where you just scared them. And then if you ever run across or walk across a spot with only one meeple, you capture them. So you're essentially trying to get into these big groups, spread them out, and then take them with your other monsters. So you're capturing these meeples.
Okay.
Is that the goal? Is
the goal is to capture them.
Capture them.
There are you get points. So you have a private goal card.
Kind of dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have a private goal card. It might give you like 2 points for every green you capture. It might give you 5 points for every set or something like that. Similar to like a Sagrada or something, an easy kind of goal card, right? You can also collect these kind of cool like little fire tokens you can spend to take extra actions, or you can actually spend them to buy public goal cards. So then now I score points if I scare a group of 2 yellows away, something like that. So you're kind of earning points throughout the game and trying to collect them. And yeah, so you get points at the end of the game for taking the villagers for private and public goals. Most points wins. You play until all the villagers are gone, have been taken by either your monsters or the Caretos.
Is this a filler plus?
I would say, yeah. 45 minutes to an hour.
Damn.
Yeah.
Is it more filler than filler plus?
No, I would say it's a filler plus. I would say in terms of like the footprint of the game, it looks like a full-on game. It looks like a plus, like a game.
Oh, so it
right?
might be game minus.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but it's easy and simple like a filler plus.
Okay.
And plays in about an hour, a little less than an hour. I taught it and played it in an hour. And it was better than I thought it was going to be. There, if you look up pictures, because you guys are here, you can look up pictures. If you're driving, don't. But when you get home or something, look up pictures. They have this each spirit or monster, these Portuguese monsters that you are these tiny like rectangular acrylic pieces. Okay, and the pieces are painted, right? So it's like a see-through acrylic. It looks like a tiny piece of glass, and then they paint almost the monster on that acrylic, and I think it just looks so cool.
That is really cool.
They could have done standees, right? I think this looks better than a standee for some reason. It just the way that it looks.
Well, it is a standee, isn't it?
Yeah, but it looked like just
it's not like
you think of like cardboard standee. They could have just made a cardboard standee with that. But for some reason, that just is so cool.
Yeah. Well, it seems more like spirity.
Caretos.
Yes, for some, it was just really neat. So
I love saying that
I thought the game played like better than I thought it was going to play. I liked the card system. I liked that each of my monsters was very, very different, right? If I played a yellow card to this monster, I can move 3 spaces. But if I played a yellow card to this monster, I can scare a group of whatever 6 spaces away. Yeah. And that can plan out. Like I can scare them, and then on my next move, this guy can go pick them all up. Yeah. So it's kind of cool to like make your team of monsters work together.
This also looks like Paulo Pereira's first design.
Ooh, all right, Paulo.
From Amiibo.
Way to go. Caretos.
Yeah, very cool.
That does sound cool that you're like controlling like a group.
Yeah, you're like the 2, right?
That's
you
awesome.
Like move them around. And then, so there are, in the game, there are Caretos, which are basically like monsters that almost, or like these spirits, whatever, creatures that everybody can control. My power on mine might say move 2, so move your creature 2, and then move the Caretos 2. And as they move, they grab people too, and they put them aside. So I can now take, if Natalie's right there about to pick up a couple villagers, I can move the Caretos and take them.
Wow.
So it was a pretty cool game. I would say like keep an eye out for it. I know our international friends have better access to it than we do here in the States. But I know Amiibo has worked a lot with like Pandasaurus, and I think that this game will get a bigger release. Pretty soon. But
that's good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
Caretos.
Isn't it kind of funny, like
saying Caretos?
No.
Caretos.
Like Portugal has this like Caretos guy.
Caretos.
People who are like robbing and capturing.
Yeah, the wineries.
Yeah, like that's part of their like.
And then like that German like Krampus is like.
Krampus.
Krampus McBasketball.
He's like evil, like goat thing with that chases children around, and then we just have like Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny.
Well, the Tooth Fairy's pretty fucking creepy.
Yeah, I'm like, do we have anything?
Steals your teeth.
Do we have anything like creepy over here? Like that's like a normal.
So here's what
tale.
Here's what I think. So the United States, in terms of the rest of the world, is a very young country.
Yeah.
And I think all these other countries having thousands of years behind them have kind of come up with these, like, even when you think of like Norse gods or Greek gods, like these are very cool.
Yeah.
The United States have like created, I wrote a paper on
Like
this,
a
so if you want to know
silly-
something cool.
like a child.
I've created like, the United States, in order to create some sort of history, has created like superheroes.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's like that
Yeah.
whole system because we don't have like a cool
That's
Greek
true.
history.
We have a
right?
George Washington.
And
yeah,
actually,
that's
pretty cool.
The further back in time you go, the more dark and gory
depraved
things
and
are.
crazy.
Yeah.
And so it makes sense. Maybe they have these older stories that
Yeah.
are like
Like
dark.
the penises in Pompeii.
Yes.
They kind of stay around as like
well, that's not
like,
dark. That's just
scary
people like
stories,
sex.
right? Like campfire stories
Yeah,
almost. That's how I always
yeah.
kind of attribute some of these things. Or people sitting around a campfire telling the legend
Right.
of.
But it's just funny to
Caretos.
think like
The
somebody
legend of
like
George
you tell like
Washington.
this German child this like scary
German
like
child.
demonic goat story and it's like normal for them. But if you tell that story to like a kid in America, they're like, yeah, I have nightmares.
Right. Or there's that thing from The Office where Dwight's reading this story to the kids. I think it's German about this
Yeah.
guy that cuts off children's thumbs.
Yeah.
If they like suck their thumbs.
That's
or
where like
something,
he wanted to
cuts
run
them
Christmas
off.
himself.
Yeah.
Didn't he? Yeah.
That was the Belschnickel.
Yeah, the bells.
That's
We
great.
brought like a goose.
So
to eat.
Caretos.
Caretos.
I just want to say Caretos.
All
Okay,
right.
awesome. So, joke number 8.
Number 8A.
Yeah, it is only. There's only
Have you like saved the
there's
best
only
for
one
last, or are
A.
these just random?
No, these are just random. Yeah.
Okay.
I just kind of like
The
cycle
random
them
joke
randomly. Here we
generator?
go. Number 8. Mickey Mouse gets a call from his lawyer. The lawyer says to Mickey, I'm sorry, but you can't divorce Minnie just because she's crazy. Mickey says,
Oh.
I didn't say she was crazy. Haha. I said she was fucking goofy.
Yep. I've heard that
Good.
one. That was good. Oh, good job with your Mickey Mouse boys.
Oh, thank you.
Oh.
Oh, I'm really horny. Haha.
Oh God.
Oh my God, fuck me.
Ew. That was turning weird.
Cut that out. An hour and what?
Mickey.
There's a South Park, I think, where Mickey's like evil.
Yeah.
And he's like, he says like the most depraved, mean stuff, but every once in a while he's like, ha.
Yeah, I have to make it like
Yeah.
sound more innocent.
I'm gonna kill you, you motherfucker. Ha. All right, joke number 9. The final joke.
Okay.
This one's dumb. There's done. It's dumb. I think Natalie might like this one.
Oh, is this the one?
When my wife said she was leaving because of my obsession with the monkeys, I thought she was joking. And then I saw her face.
Oh
Nice.
my God. And then I saw her face.
Dun, 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 dun.
Natalie, you got any jokes to add?
Now I'm a believer.
No, I don't have jokes that just in my head.
What's the difference between a chickpea and a garbanzo
Ooh.
bean?
Oh yeah.
You know this one?
Yeah.
I will say it.
I've never had a garbanzo bean on my face.
Hey, that one someone sent to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. So that
We
was.
knew that one a
No,
few years
yeah,
ago.
well, you knew
Yes.
it, but someone sent it to
Yes,
me when I
think
did the
it was
inbox.
Sam.
The
What the heck's
only
the inbox?
joke that I know is
The inbox is a relic.
what do you get when you combine an elephant and a rhino?
Okay.
Elephino.
All right, I got a bad one too. You ready?
Let's hear it.
What did the janitor say when he came out of the storage closet?
Okay.
He said, supplies.
Oh my God.
You like that one?
Yeah, I do.
That's dad.
That's a dad joke. That's awesome. I would now like to talk to you all for a moment about the Gateway Board Gaming Network, which you can find at www.thegatewaynetwork.com and the Gateway Network on Instagram. The sole purpose of the network is to help new or up-and-coming content creators grow by shouting each other out. If you go to the Gateway Network website, you will find other amazing content creators who are trying to grow as well. They're all amazing people who produce fantastic content. We're adding new members all the time. It's very exciting, due also in large part to our merch store. Yes, we have added a merch store, which you can find at redbubble.com/people/Gateway Network. There you can find so many amazing items from a large portion of our members. There are shirts, mugs, clocks, shower curtains, floor pillows, coasters, mini skirts, crack pipes, baby wipes, Wesley Snipes, and fork knife combo prototypes.
I would buy a Mad Board Gamer Wesley
Fork-
Snipes.
You would? Would you buy a fork knife combo
No,
prototype?
nobody would buy that.
But it's one utensil.
Yeah.
You can like use it as a fork, and you can cut the meat with it.
And then
How do
everybody.
you eat it off of there? Would you cut the side of your mouth
That's what
up?
every single person says when he says this idea.
Fork knife. Patent pending. No. I'm thinking like You'll like put like a thing inside your mouth first, and so then when you
Does it come with? Will you buy the mouth guard with that, or does it sold separately?
Sold separately.
Okay, of
sold
course.
separately, so you can get more money.
There was always a catch.
And it acts like when you have a drawer that you're pulling out and it's on rails. That's where you'll put the fork in your mouth, and so it's on these rails, so it won't cut you.
No.
Oh,
fork knife.
delightful.
Coming soon.
Not a good idea. A shark.
Why, a Gamecaster
would
fork
not
knife?
Fork knife. Yeah, Gamecasters fork knife. Today, I'd like to specifically highlight Steven, the smash-up guy. We love board games around here, or at least we used to. But Steven here loves one particular game so much,
does.
he has centered his entire content base around it. Yes, he loves the game Smash Up so much that it begs the question, why don't you marry it?
Ooh.
Yeah, got you. While we may never get an answer to that, what we will get an answer to over on Smash Up Guy's Instagram page is the differences between each faction of Smash Up and news on future Smash Up content and tips on how to play better and sometimes bracketed challenges with different factions. But most notably what you'll find is Steven's unhealthy attachment to the card game Smash Up, which is both amazing and a little creepy. Having an unhealthy attachment to this hobby is what makes it so great for all of us. So do yourself a favor and head on over to Smash Up Guy on Instagram. Give Steven a DM that tells him how awesome he is. Keep the fun content coming, Steven. Whatever kind of content you're looking for, the Gateway will have it. If you're a newer board game content creator and you're looking for a way to grow your content, please consider heading over to thegatewaynetwork.com to learn more. If you ever wanted to support the show but weren't quite sure how to do it, maybe consider flushing your money down the Gamecasters toilet again. That was me flushing
That
the
was a
toilet.
Yeah, the
strange,
toilet. The toilet. Oh,
By
I was
way
like,
of our
like celebrate.
Patreon page, there are 4 different tiers which will eventually get you access to behind-the-scenes content or exclusive content or content ahead of time. You will also get swag that nobody else has access to and just the opportunity to help out and support a podcast. I like that voice.
my God.
Which you sometimes listen to. We have 6 amazing patrons so far. They are Emotional Cyborg, Jim Gamer, Mr. Days Lewis, Mr. Measles, Mick Dave Mick, and Swoozle. Thank you so much for your support, guys. I promise we will start upping our game here in the next few years. So, if you want to read a book, but you don't have time to look, why not sit your fat ass down and listen to Natalie's Nook? Babe!
That's nice.
You made me a song.
That's your
Wow.
jingle.
Thanks.
Record it and play it over again. Are you gonna do it every time, or you want? Like
I might do a different one every time. I might do a different, because I was sung to like Farmer in the Dell.
There's a lot of
Farmer in the Dell.
there's a lot of words that rhyme with Nook.
I know, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like,
So we'll
look.
see how it goes. Or crook.
Yeah,
Or
that's it.
shook.
Let's not spoil anything.
I don't want
yeah.
to. Okay.
Don't
Look up-
spoil
What do
it.
you
can look
got
it up on
for
your
us
own.
today, Natalia?
Okay, well, today.
Natalie the Nymphomaniac?
Yeah, I was wondering what was
Yeah, did you
Natalia's
like
name
that
again?
one? What was the
None.
nickname?
Natalie the
that's not-
Nun.
I guess maybe if I had to
Guess we
pick
can't fuck
one.
anymore.
Natalie the Nun. You're out.
If I had to pick one, I would say
How much you love her now?
Bootyful.
The
Yeah,
Bootyful.
Natalia
That's
the
a good
Bootyful?
one.
Okay,
Yep.
I like that one. All right, Bootyful. What you got? A booty full of farts?
Okay, I changed
Something
my
was
mind.
coming. I changed my mind. Natalie, this is Natalie's last episode. Please enjoy.
What's coming out of your Nook today? Well, I'll tell you.
Cut that out too.
I'm sorry.
That Mickey Mouse.
Have you wrote down all the things Jeff told you to cut out?
Yeah, I have
There
a
is
list.
one I'm cutting out.
I have a list. I ran out of room.
I'm not cutting out Mickey That's why he brings the paper over.
Yeah, I ran the paper over so I can write this stuff down.
I need an editor, and Jeff has just taken that upon himself.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness
The
gracious.
appropriateness
What do you have
editor.
for us today, Natalie?
Okay, so today is more of a discussion-based Nook about cooperative games. So last episode, Jeff, I don't remember exactly how it went down, but like
Wasn't that important?
Jeff said something
worry about it.
about like not liking cooperative games with 2 players as much or something like that, and then Ryan was like, I don't know about that, and then he was like kind of like, that's like a discussion we can talk about later, and I thought
Okay.
maybe we can
Let's talk about it now.
talk about
remember,
it in
but
my
do you
notes.
guys?
So first, I don't know. I thought, what makes a game cooperative?
Webster's dictionary defines a
Player-
cooperative game.
Yeah, I decided it just that means the players.
This is your Nook.
Yeah.
Players win or lose like as a group. Like to me, like that's what a cooperative game is.
Yeah,
Do you
okay.
agree, or do you?
Yeah, I think there's a little more maybe to it, you could say. But yeah, that's basically the long and short of it.
Yeah, like instead of like having an individual winner competing against each other, you're playing together as a group,
I'd
and
say-
you win or lose as a group.
Yeah, I'd say you're on a team. You're
Yeah.
working together instead of against
Yeah.
each other.
Right. So I wanted to talk about, based on your comments last week. What are the pros and cons of co-ops? Discuss.
Oh, yeah.
So
Just go. Now go.
Yeah, for pros, and then tell me if you agree or disagree, if you want to add more or whatever. But
Yeah.
For me, pros are it removes competition.
Yep.
You're working as a team, which can be more fun. There's less pressure when you're working on a team because you're not just relying on yourself. You're working together and can use each other's brains. And then you celebrate the victory together instead of feeling bad that you lost
or bad for the person you beat.
Yeah. What do you?
I agree with you 100% on those pros. I think cooperative games are really good or can be really good for new gamers. Because I find that a lot of new gamers, when you're introducing people to the hobby, like if somebody comes over to my house and they come into the basement and they see this wall of games, it's intimidating.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh, this is the game guy. He's expecting great things out of me, potentially. So if you start off somebody with a cooperative game where it's like, okay, I can kind of go through this with you. You don't have to worry about
remembering
me
all the
beating you
rules
or you beating me. You don't have to worry about all the beating that's gonna happen.
Or even being overwhelmed by all these rules if you're newer to games.
I agree with you there. I mean, personally, I feel like depending on the teacher, if you're playing a competitive game, the teacher should be holding your hand the first time you're playing a game through the rules anyway.
That's true.
But in a cooperative game, like you said, it can take the pressure off a lot, where you don't feel like I have to do well or I'm going to look stupid.
Mm-hmm.
If I get dead last place, is he not going to want to play with me anymore? Which is ridiculous, but a lot of people think that way.
Keeps going.
I don't know. That's a lot of times in a row. And so I think that can be really good for new players to take that pressure off of them. Also, I personally just love playing games as a team.
Yeah.
There's not a ton of that in the world like that. Games are typically like me versus you, who's going to win.
Yeah.
There's not a ton of, that concept of cooperation isn't prevalent in, it's human nature to want to be against someone.
Right.
I love working together, and then we can overcome an obstacle together and then have a story together that we're both equally as excited or upset about.
And I like that better than even just like having a team that's against another team. I like that it's like a team that you either win or you lose together and you're not competing against other people.
Absolutely.
What do you think, Jeff? You got any?
I have
what do you like about cooperative
some
games?
thoughts. So I agree with you and Ryan talking about it's a more friendly experience for the most part.
Yeah.
It's also, I think, like Ryan said, great for people who don't play games. Come over, let me teach you this game. We'll all work through it together. Like you said, win together. I also really like for co-op games the theme of a lot of games. Usually these co-op games have a really great theme, right? There probably is a co-op game out there about 14th century farming, but that's not a game that I'm going to be like, yes, let's cooperatively farm. Let's not do that. But to say I want to cooperatively kill a bunch of zombies, or cooperatively go through a D&D dungeon, right? Or cooperatively like Lord of the Rings, or there's mystery, there's the crime is popular. There's all these these very cool thematic games that I think get non-gamers in, immerse you into the game. So that's those are my huge pluses for co-op games.
Agreed.
Yeah.
There's game and it depends on the type of game, because one of the heaviest co-op games that we've ever played is CO2, and when we've won that game, that's a difficult game, and when we win, it feels so good, and it feels that's not an easy game. It has complicated rules, and so when you're working together and okay, I know, I'll take care of this and you take care of that, and you're kind of working together as a group, but still kind of playing your individual parts. It's just so satisfying. But then there's also games something like Magic Maze that it's a lighter game, and it's more of a fun game instead of a strategic game. And that one you could just where you have to be quiet and you're trying to work together, and that one you could end up busting out laughing because of
the one person that can move the guy right isn't doing it.
Yeah.
Come on.
Right.
Yeah.
And so there's still so many different kinds of cooperative games, and your experiences there can be a range of experiences based on that, basically. And then some cons of cooperative games. I actually only thought of one, maybe two, because I really like them.
I agree.
I think they're
One
mostly
plus.
good. People, it just depends on. It's basically it depends on who you're playing with.
Yes,
That's what
100%.
can ruin it. Somebody can take over the decision making and kind of like, make other people feel like they aren't participating enough, or people can like sabotage the outcome if they don't understand it or they don't care, and they're
the game.
Yeah, like in the game.
Like
if
the game,
you play a
the game,
card
are you ready
because
for
they're
the
like, I
game?
don't know what to do, I'll just play this, and it's like, no, you just like ruin the whole thing.
For all of us.
Yeah,
Yep.
for all of us, like that kind of thing, which is more based on the people, not really based on the game.
So just get better friends if
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, you're right. There's a term for when one person takes it over. There's a couple different terms. Quarterbacking is what
That's
some
what I
people
wrote down.
call it.
Yeah.
And other people call it
like alpha
alpha
gamer,
gaming.
like, something
So
like
basically what that is,
100%.
so the most notable game that people talk about when they come up with this, or when they talk about this term, is pandemic. There is pandemic lends itself to one person surveying the board and figuring out if we, like, I can see your powers. If we do this in this order, this is the best move. And so then they're like, you should do this, you should do this, you should do this, and I'm going to do this.
And
Go.
everyone else is
and so
just
then everyone
supposed
else
to be
just
like,
runs
okay.
the program.
Yeah.
And so that can be another con that some people have to cooperative games, which is not necessarily the alpha gaming, but the fact that cooperative games are really just boiled down to one player versus the game. It doesn't need to have other players.
Okay,
A lot of
yeah.
people feel that way about
Yeah.
games like Pandemic, where it's like, if one person can just kind of math out this is what the best move is, why are there four of us doing this together?
Yeah, makes
because
sense.
if that's the best option, why would... It's annoying for the alpha gamer to be like, why are you doing other things that aren't the best? Just because, like, I've clearly told you this is what you should do. And you're going to be like, well, I don't want to because I want agency over myself. And obviously, alpha gamer is an asshole. Don't play with alpha gamer.
Yeah.
But there is something to be said about the point the alpha gamer is making, in terms of, well, this is clearly the best way to play it. So cooperative games have grown a lot since Pandemic, which wasn't the first cooperative game by any means, but it was probably the biggest popular cooperative game. Like it brought co-ops into the big mainstream here. So what I think, I think that could be a negative for some people. I personally don't think into things that much. I like to just kind of play. It's my turn. I want to play. I mean, in a game like Pandemic, I can totally see if somebody's like, well, we should probably just do this and this and this. And that doesn't bother me, because I'm comfortable enough, especially my group of friends, to be like, well, I want to do this.
Yeah.
Like, I hear what you're saying, but it's still, if you say like, well, you should probably do that. And that's fun for me to be like, yeah, you're right. I should do that. Okay, I'm going to do that. But so I can definitely see that being a negative.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I don't like the quarterbacking, whether, I try not to when we're playing, especially again, because these co-op games are good for non-gamers. So you bring non-gamers in here. How do you pretend that you're a non-gamer? Around a bunch of people who don't know how to play the game. You don't know how to play Pandemic. Is it my job to just basically teach you all the strategy of it and then tell you how to do it? Or do we just let the game kind of run and I'll take my turn? And if I know you're doing something wrong, or like that's not the most optimal, do I just shut up and let the game kind of happen? Or do I step in and say, let's just do this, right? Is that fun? Like, what's fun for the people?
Yeah.
So that can be a tough balance, I think. I think when you have a game like CO2, that's not the co-op game you bring out with non-gamers.
Correct.
Right? So that game is usually people sitting around playing, who are gamers playing a game that is cooperatively.
Yeah.
Which there's a lot to wrap your head around the game, so you might not... I am not smart enough to basically figure that game out all by myself
Me
while
too.
we play,
Same with
right?
me.
Yeah.
Right.
And I really like, there's an aspect of co-op games, as you guys were talking, that I thought that I really love. And part of it is to stop some of this alpha gaming. I like something that I need to do that's maybe it's a secret.
Yeah.
Like I get a card that says, I need to have this much money. I need to have these cards in my hand by the end of the game. Which then, okay, now I can listen to Ryan telling me like, this is the best move. Okay, good. But now if I look at my secret objective, that doesn't work. right? So you know what, Ryan? I don't want to go there. I know it might be the best for the team, but it's not the best for me.
Yeah.
Because in order to win, I need to complete my objective, and we need to win.
What are you, Bill and
right?
Mice and Mystics?
So yeah, right. So like, yeah, there's the balance of doing what's best for me and my private objective that I can't tell you about, or doing what's best for the game, and finding that balance I really like in co-op games.
Yeah.
So an example would be something like Dead of Winter, which can go from a co-op into a secret. There's a possibility that someone is like a traitor in Dead of Winter, but I like that going, all right, well, I need to keep going to the police station to try to get a weapon because that's what I need. Or even CO2 gives you a private objective that you need to have. So I like co-op games that give me something else to do where everything maybe isn't known.
Yeah.
That again, like Ryan said, you can't just hit the run button and then the program runs itself and I'm just hanging out here texting and being on my phone, you know? So
for sure.
Yeah. So those would be my negatives, which how you can take a negative and go, how do you fix the quarterback in a co-op game? That might be the way that's what I know some newer games have done.
Yep, absolutely. They've definitely grown. They've seen, I think there's like, people take the data from games like Pandemic and they say, what was wrong? That like amazing design. What are some of the negatives that people have with that? Okay, the alpha gaming. How do we combat alpha gaming? And that's a good way to combat it is to make private objectives or at least just hidden information. There's a lot of cooperative games where it's like you can't show them your cards and you read the rules and you're like, why? We're working on a team. But I think that's the reason.
Yeah.
Because they don't want it to just be one player.
Because then it's like, well, just lay it out and then we can...
Yeah, then we'll just math it out.
Yeah.
And so that's another con that people have to cooperative games is they can feel like a puzzle. Mm-hmm. Like... when I say a puzzle, I mean like this will have a deterministic output based on what I see. There's one way to solve it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people play games to play the players. Where you don't know what the hell your player is going to do. You could make a mistake and I'll capitalize on it, or I'm going to make a mistake. And that doesn't happen with a cooperative game because you're playing cards. You're playing the cardboard. You're playing the board. So I can understand why people wouldn't like them. Personally, I love them.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, what are your thoughts? Like, do you enjoy them? I know for a fact that you do, because there's a lot of comments that you make sometimes, like let's play something cooperative tonight. Like, I just want to like
it's because
work
the
together.
pressure that you were talking about.
Yeah,
that pressure is more worth it to me to not have that. Sometimes, like, there's a lot of times where we're going to play a competitive game and I'm reading the rules and I'm teaching it to you, and then I'm stressed, stress I like. I like that stress of a competitive game where you're like, oh, I'm trying to win. I don't have to, but I'm trying to. And so there's a certain level of stress that your brain gets when you're like, what is she going to do? What is Jeff going to do? Oh, God, what is Joe going to do? What am I going to do? How am I going to beat whatever? How's my plan going to be better than their plan? And that's stressful, and it takes a lot out of you. And in a cooperative game, for me anyway, that's all gone. That aspect and stress is gone.
Yeah.
And again, I like that stress, but sometimes I don't want to be stressed. I don't want to have, when I have like littler energy, or if I'm just feeling not,
like
if
on
I'm feeling
edge or
more
something.
introverted or something, or I'm feeling on edge, I don't want that. I want to just be able to just like relax. And the number one thing that I get from cooperative games is relaxation. A game like Forgotten Waters is a perfect example. When I'm playing Forgotten Waters with you guys, I'm not feeling like, what am I going to do? Oh my gosh, how's this going to work? How am I going to win? How am I going to min-max? I'm just like, I can't wait to sit back and enjoy the story and laugh and hear what, Joe's Mad Lib is going to be about. I can't, that's like really fun stuff. And it's just completely different from the experience you get when you're playing a competitive game.
Right.
And that's one of the main reasons I love cooperative games for
so
that
basically
stress
like you
going.
love both of them, but there's a situation for both of them too.
Yeah. It's all mood and how I'm feeling, basically.
Your mood.
Mm-hmm.
Your mood.
Yeah. I'll chime in.
Yeah, I was like, Jeff.
So
What are you?
He was about
there's
to talk.
also
he was like,
I know, because you were about to say something I didn't know. There's also a level of difficulty I think that needs to happen in co-op games. There are a lot of co-op games that are like too easy, and it's then not worth playing more than 2 or 3 times. You need to make the game difficult enough where our brains can be able to work through it, but like exercise, right? We need to exercise our brain in order to figure this out.
Yeah, you don't want to just like win
instead
every
of like,
time.
oh,
and
we
it's
won
like,
every
oh,
time,
yeah.
or just get completely demolished
and
all
the
the
other
time.
way too.
Right.
So there's a balance there trying to figure that out, and then it's difficult to make games for both gamers and non-gamers, especially when it's cooperative. So something like CO2 is a good example of something that is beyond a non-gamer, tough enough for a bunch of gamers to sit around and try to figure out.
Yeah.
But I I have zero interest in sitting around and playing Pandemic with our group. I don't want to play that game because everything is known and it's right there. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't have to be playing the game.
Yeah. Why am I a part of it? Yeah.
And I know Pandemic has done some things with the legacy that people love. And I know we're going to get messages that say well, play Pandemic, like the Legacy and play Season, whatever. And I get that. I understand. But I'm talking about base game Pandemic. I don't want to play that anymore, right? There's not, you know, we can just be played.
Yeah.
Versus like a game like Defenders of the Realm where I have a cool power.
Yep. And there's quest cards.
And there's quest cards that I'm doing by myself. So no, I don't want to. Oh yeah, I don't want to fight that. I want to go do my specific thing so I can, you know. And there's a little more there. So yeah, I would say I like co-op games, like you said, like when I'm in the right mood, when it's with the right people, and it has to be the right. It has to be the right game.
Like one game that comes to mind that I think we all really enjoy is The Crew. And that's one that's like, it has that balance. Like you don't just win every time. And then sometimes you're stuck on like a scenario and you just lose. And we're like, we got to keep playing till we win this.
Yeah.
And you cannot alpha game in that game. Can't.
Right.
No,
you can't.
Because your cards are hidden and you
talk.
can't talk to each other about it. Yeah. And that one is just like a really fun.
Agreed. That hits all the, and plus, man, it's got that right amount of co-op tension.
Yeah. And I feel like every non-gamers and hardcore gamers would enjoy that one.
Yeah. Well, that's why it's so successful.
Yeah.
Because they do.
I also like some of these like team co-op games, like Codenames, right? Where we're like, I don't have to be by myself. I'm working with someone, but now we can be competitive against someone. I can be creative and win this game as a team against another team, right?
It must be really hard to make team games work because there's just not many of them. There's not a ton of team games.
You're right.
You know, you can think of Codenames or like Cerebria has teams, or there's that
like the Crypto, you're on teams. And some of them are like the word games.
But there was there's like a party dexterity game thing I'm trying to think of. I can't remember. Space Cadets, Dice Duel. I think that is a team game. But there's just not a ton of them.
I know.
Yeah.
You know?
Flip Ships is cooperative, right?
Yeah,
that's
Flip Ships is cooperative.
Fully cooperative.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Great game. Again, the pressure is off. It's just like you're all having a good time. You know, you're not worried about what. I'm more worried about cheering for Jeff and Natalie than I am about like, oh, I hope they fucking miss. You know? Because you don't. You want them to. You want to do well.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
What do you think? Do you think people like co-op games more? Should we put that story out? Be like, do you like co-op games or competitive games?
I'm sure people have done it. Guess it is, and this is just my opinion. It's like 70-30 competitive.
Yeah, I think
that's my guess.
I feel like a lot of people don't like them.
Yeah,
I feel like a lot of people like competition more. But then there's people like us too that they're kind of like a 50-50.
Yeah, I like them both.
Yeah.
I love cooperative
like
games.
I would choose either one. I wouldn't, if I had to pick, I would be happy with both kind of thing.
Here's what's crazy though, for how much you love them. I just looked at your top 10 list. One is a co-op game.
Yeah.
Codenames Duet, right? My favorite games are never I've never, like, when I run through my top whatever, that co-op game doesn't come to my mind.
Well, here's the thing. They're not typically super heavy and deep. They're not typically. There's like the Spirit Islands. There's the CO2s, which is on there.
Oh, CO2's on
CO2's on there. There's the you know what I mean? You typically don't
Spirit
find...
Island's a good one. That's a good
You typically don't find
example.
heavier cooperative games. So to make a top 10 list, I love... like what's another? I'm trying to think of like I love Sagrada, but I wouldn't put that on my top 10.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, because it's a great game, but it's just lighter. And so cooperative games I think are a lot like that.
Yeah, maybe the Spirit Island might be
because that's some people's
favorite game. I don't want to call it like a perfect co-op, right? But the fact that I think non-gamers can play that game, gamers can play that game, you can crank that game up to be even harder than just the regular, which is hard to start with.
Yeah.
People love that. It's probably a top 15 game.
Well, let's look at this real quick.
So.
So the number one game of all time, Gloomhaven, that's cooperative.
Those...
Number 2 of all time, Pandemic Legacy, is cooperative. Jaws of the Lion is number 5 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 now.
Guess I can just throw Gloomhaven on anything.
So 3 of the top 10 are cooperative games.
It's kind of like we said, 70-30.
And Spirit Island's right there at like 11 or so. I don't know why it's got NA for board game rank now.
Got taken off.
That's weird. But yeah, Spirit Island is cooperative. I mean, there's not a ton, you know, but that's pretty good for top games. You know what I mean? So that's a good topic.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Nice Nook.
Also, I just want to throw one thing out there too. Orleans, we played that competitive and then we played that cooperative expansion.
We liked the cooperative
and we liked it better.
So much better.
You also haven't played any good expansions for Orleans yet.
That's
We haven't played That was the only thing we did.
Yeah,
we
you
didn't play
gotta
any
play the other
expansions.
ones.
But I mean, I love Orly on
yes, yeah,
Base.
for
I
sure.
really love that.
But it's just like it was like extra fun.
Yeah, it was like
was.
different too. It was a
Yeah, it was
different experience.
different.
yeah, it was good.
Okay.
Great. Well, that was Natalie's Nook. Join us next
Yay.
episode for another Nookalicious episode.
Delicious.
Nookalicious, what? So for today's recorded shout out, listen to Gaaaame from the Highbrow Podcast, The Board Game Snobs, talk about Jared from the Meeple Mentor.
Ever needed to learn a game, see how it's played, other board game discussions you're interested in? Check out the Meeple Mentor, starring Jared. What's that? I don't know. Jared. No, not the Subway guy. I'm sure he's sick of that one. It's just an unfortunate name association now. I guess he could change it, but I don't know. Jerry? Have you ever met a Jerry? Synonymous with basically a fool now. Send it, Jerry. Team Jerry? Do you know Jerry of Board Game Snobs? Talk about an arrogant jerk. I don't know. Besides, it's the same amount of syllables. It's not a nickname. Jared, Jerry. Does a nickname have to be shorter? I don't know. You're asking too many questions. I gotta get back to this commercial. Talking about the Subway. No, not this. Jared. The Meeple Mentor. He talks about games and stuff. Oh, okay. I'm going to mark the tape and edit all that. Where was I? A Meeple Mentor. Check him out. Jerry.
You may remember way back in episode 61, we played a new game called Husband or Hobbs, where Jeff had to guess whether or not everyday phrases Natalie says were to me or to her dogs. Jeff went and got 100% of them correct.
Yeah.
Maybe that was like, wow, you nailed those. You were
good job with your
it
game.
Was too easy for him.
Funny.
So I must make today's game a little harder.
Do I get to play this one?
Yes. So what I did...
Oh, no, you don't.
what I did today was I came up with a new game. What is it, you might ask? Find out. No. We're
After
playing...
this break. Let's take a break.
Yeah.
I do have to go to the bathroom.
She's back. So we are playing Name That Game.
Oh.
Name That Game
Name That Tune?
works just like Name That Tune. Can you let me do it?
I'm so sorry.
I want to do it. Let me do it. Let me
It's
do
my
it.
table.
Name That Game works like Name That Tune. It's my table. I have 10 games. Each game has 10 words written about it, describing it. Each round, you are going to get a category that will give you a tiny clue as to the genre of the game you're trying to guess. And so
Wow.
you'll go back and forth telling each other how many words you'll need to guess the game. For instance,
Oh.
Natalie, this is Jeff. Natalie, I
Natalie.
can guess that game in 8 words.
Do you want me to say that?
That's what you'll say. Yeah.
Okay. Natalie, I can guess that game in 8 words.
Exactly. And then Natalie will say, Jeff.
I can guess that game in 6
That's
words.
what I have written, 6 words.
Oh.
And so then-
Natalie, do it.
Yeah, Natalie.
Go ahead.
So Jeff will either
Guess
say...
that game.
Is that what you want to say?
Yeah, you'll say, Natalie, name that game.
Name the game.
Name
that
Not
tune.
name, not guess that tune.
Gosh.
Yeah, so you'll either say,
Okay.
Natalie, I can name that game
In one.
in one word. Yeah, and then you'll have to be like, Jeff, name that game. Okay, so that's how it's going to go.
All
So
right.
the way
Okay.
we're going to get these categories is I have in the wheel of names, you can see here, nobody at
Wow.
home, I have all the categories. So I'm just going to spin it. And I'm going to give our first category, and Jeff, you'll start. So you're going to tell Natalie how many
Okay.
words you can get this in. Are you
Did
guys
you
clear
make
on
up the
rules?
words that
No.
this game is?
Yeah.
Okay, you made it. You did
I made it
You
all
didn't
up.
find
Wait,
them.
well,
on the
okay.
thing.
So I went to the BGG description.
Time out. Natalie doesn't know the rules after she tried to explain the entire
know.
game to all
No,
us.
She
doesn't
knows
understand
Name
it.
That Tune.
I know, but like, so
Oh God.
you're gonna
We
what?
did a practice
Oh
round.
my God.
We did a
Natalie.
practice round.
So the wheel.
The wheel
is
gives us a
genre,
Who's going to
category.
give you the category?
and then you describe a game.
No, then we pick how many
You're going to
clues.
tell. He's going to tell you
Clues
how
for
many
what?
words he can use to guess the game.
What game?
That's the game. The game is name the game.
Stop.
It's name the game. The game is name the game.
So in Name That Tune,
Stop,
there's
stop.
there's listen. No,
Yeah,
no,
but
no,
in
no,
Game
no,
That Tune,
no, no.
they play a song in that genre.
Yeah.
They play the song after you say how many notes you can
I
guess the
know,
song.
but what I'm asking is, so like,
There's a category, okay? And the
Okay.
category will be like R&B from the 90s. And
I
then you're going to
know.
say to Jeff, well, I can name that tune in 8.
I know.
And then
I'm
once you tell him to
asking
name that
where
tune,
these games come from. Like, do you in each genre? Do you have a list of games that you're gonna describe?
what is she talking about?
One game per genre.
Wait.
I don't know what you're talking about. Just hold on. Just
I don't.
Why do you not understand?
Give me a
Natalie. Let me moderate. Natalie, in each of these categories,
You guys.
listen. In each of these categories, there's one game that is the name of the game.
Right.
Okay. Ryan has created 10 words that are associated with that game for the category that he's going to pick. So then once we pick the category, then you are going to say, I can guess this category's game in X amount of things.
Exactly.
And then we go back and forth.
Just like name that tune.
Okay, listen. We're all saying the same fucking thing right now.
You are not.
You are
Ryan and I are saying the
Yeah,
same
me
thing.
and Jeff
You
are.
are not.
You
You're
are
like,
not.
well, what's the game? Yeah, name them.
Well, you got to give me an example of a game. No, there's no example.
No, you pick a genre gets picked, right?
Hold on. Genre.
And then you have a game that is associated, right, with that genre.
that you are guessing.
And then you are going to describe it in however many words we say, right?
Yes.
That's what I said. And
No.
you said no.
We'll listen
That's
back.
what we said.
That's what I said
Wait,
too.
I told you.
No,
the
you were like,
rules.
how many games are in the genre
How
or
many
something?
games are in there?
Well, I'm asking you, like, how do you know what the game is? Like,
You don't know what the
no,
game is.
you, the person.
I made it up.
Let's take a short break.
I get it now. Let's play.
Oh my gosh.
I think we were just saying the same thing.
No. You made this ridiculously complicated for no reason. It was all figured out. We had it done. Wait, what was your original question?
Who knows?
My question was like I didn't know
Never mind.
what was on the
Just stop.
roundabout thingy.
I just told you it's categories.
The wheel of categories.
Yeah, but then I was like, how do you know when a category
You're
gets
going to
picked,
know as
how do
soon
you
as
know
I
what-
spin it and say
How do you know like what game you're gonna describe? You have but you answered that. It's one. You have one game assigned to each category. Now I know that.
Now, yep.
And then I said, "Are you gonna describe the game to us?" And then you said no.
Yeah, you're going to... I'm not going to describe a game to you.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. I'm
Then
going
what
to
are the
say
words
the
you're gonna
genre.
say?
I'm going to give you a
Okay,
genre.
let's say you pick Cooperative Games.
Yeah, right.
And you
boom.
have a game.
That's it. I'll say cooperative game. And then you're going to tell Jeff, I can guess that game in 8 words.
Okay. Yes, we're saying the same thing again. let's say Jeff ends up
Don't talk to me that way.
Let's say
Yeah.
Jeff ends up saying, okay, I can guess it in 5 words. What are those 5 words? Describing the game?
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
I
and you keep
said
saying
that.
no.
Didn't I not say
And I
that?
said-
Listeners at home,
I
as me and Natalie are getting divorced.
I said you're going to describe the game, and you keep saying no. But you are.
Let's just play.
So you were just saying the rules
Let's
of
play.
the game that I already explained?
Yes, I'm trying to make sure I understand the rules.
Are these clues for
Stop
the game, the
saying no.
words to describe the game? Are you just going to, if I say 4, are you just going to read the first 4 that you came up
Yes.
with?
Yeah, so it's a sentence.
Okay.
They're all sentences.
sentence.
I went to the BGG game description of the game to get, kind of piecemeal what
Yeah.
I wanted to say. And so hopefully I've made it so, like, you could still technically get it, I guess, if you only did one.
All right,
but it's
well,
going to be
let's try.
ridiculously
Let's see what
challenging.
So, like, what's
and you
the
should get it if
most
you get them all.
amount of words in a
10.
sentence?
There's 10. I think the problem was you weren't listening to the description of the game because
too excited
everything
about
you're
name that
asking
tune.
about is exactly what I already said.
Okay.
So here, let me start it over. Okay,
No, I get it.
I have 10 games. Each game has 10 words written about it, describing it. Right? That would have probably nullified your question. Each round, you are going to get a category that will give you a tiny clue as to what genre of the game you're trying to guess is. You'll then go back and forth telling each other how many words you need to guess the game. For instance, Natalie, I can guess that game in 8 words, okay?
Yeah.
Your opponent can either bid lower or tell you to name that game. If they do, you will then get the number of words you bet, okay? And if you name that game, you get 1 point. If you can't, the other person gets all 10 words.
Ooh, that's a steal.
That's the way it works, okay? So be careful when you're betting that to make sure you can get it. I am sweating.
Man. Let's take a short break.
Boom, boom, boom.
Boom, boom, boom. And we're back.
And we're back.
Natalie's gone. She's not joining us for the rest of my life. Oh my gosh, that's good stuff. Okay, are we ready for the Wheel of Names?
boy.
Natalie, are you sufficiently
I am
explained?
Yeah.
sufficiently explained.
Okay, here we go.
Spin that wheel.
Here's your first category. Spin that wheel. Spin that wheel. The
Seen
first.
that show?
Spin that wheel.
Name that tune.
Yeah. I also just
It's
listened to the rules.
Exactly. Okay. Ooh. This category. This might be the most challenging category.
Ooh.
Okay. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of noise. This category is called Beautiful Meh.
Beautiful man.
What?
Yeah, beautiful.
That's a
If you hit
category?
remove, it'll take it out of the wheel.
Okay, so that's what I want to do,
Yeah.
right? Remove. Okay, so
Beautiful.
Beautiful Meh. All
Beautiful
right, Jeff.
Kind of
Meh.
category
Meh.
is
So maybe
that?
it's like, is it beautiful? I can name that game in 8 words, Natalie.
This is the hardest.
I think it's the hardest category to kind of...
I can name that game in 6 words.
Okay, name that game in 6 words.
6 words to
Natalie.
name that game. Okay, so this is Beautiful Meh. Let's see.
Beautiful Meh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, you ready? Here we go, Natalie. Light shines in different ways, causing.
Photosynthesis.
Oh!
That was my guess.
Jeff knew it.
Yeah.
I could tell that Jeff knew it when the pen hit the tape.
Hit my butt.
Yeah, he was like,
down, I had it.
ah, damn it.
All right, good one.
Light shines in different ways, causing multiple growths all game. Was the 10 words
Ooh,
that I...
multiple growths.
So if you had said 1, it would have just been light.
At first I thought, I was like, Takenu, and I was like, then I thought of the category. I was like, no, photosynthesis.
Oh, did she
Beautiful
thought of
man.
the category?
Oh, wait. How do you know
Weird,
what the
right?
game
How many
is?
games
in
are
the
you gonna get?
category?
I think we're all saying the same
Your
fucking
mouth.
thing.
Well, you just didn't know what I was talking about.
All right, Natalie's got Jeff. Can you keep score?
Yep.
Natalie got a point there. Okay, Natalie, you're going to start this next one. Are we ready?
Just gonna make Natalie name them all. Let's take a break. I need a break. My face.
Natalie's like, I can name that in 10 words. Name that
You
game.
name it. Go ahead and try. Bet you can't.
Here we go. Category 2. Damn it. It's so loud.
Oh my gosh.
Category 2. Let's get together.
Ooh.
Let's get together.
Just not name that tune.
All right, Natalie.
Just name the game.
How many?
Parent Trap.
How many words?
I can name
No.
Jeff.
Yeah.
I can name that game in 7 words.
I can name that game in. Screw it. 4 words.
Name that
Okay.
game.
Oh, 4 words
Jeff.
for let's get together.
Yeah. Say it really slowly. And if you need to
4
add,
words,
if you need to
huh?
add a couple words, let me know.
Okay, maybe I'll add some.
Okay.
Laugh it up, listening.
Laugh it up. Listening. Laugh it up. Listening. Game where I listen and then I laugh. What do I listen to? And then just laugh it up.
Consider
know
the
it, Natalie?
category.
You know
Consider
it?
the category.
No.
Laugh it up. Listening. Laugh it up. Laugh it up. Listening.
Well, that's just
Listening
part
is
of
their
the
name.
I know. I know. But if I change the way the sentence is, laugh
He's
it
hoping
up.
to trigger something. in your
Listening,
brain.
I know.
And the category is let's get together.
Trying to think about. I don't want to say too much because
True.
Natalie's gonna get it.
True,
She gets all
Daniel.
10 words anyway. Just said,
Yeah.
give her the trophy.
Yeah.
No. Maybe I should have said 5 words.
You got a hundo playing by
Like to
yourself last week.
change.
He did. Killed it.
I know. So now I get to go 0 for this week.
No, you got this,
No.
baby. You got
And-
this.
All right, laugh it up. Listening. I don't know. What are we listening to?
Right.
Yeah,
What
the-
are we?
What am I
Part is
listening
going
to?
deep.
Nangy Tangy?
Correct.
Man. Remember when Natalie called us fuckers?
Yeah.
I didn't.
She was very
When did I say
sweary.
that?
Pretty
Pretty
very
much,
sweary.
Pretty much.
You said that's what I fucking said.
No, I
Or
didn't.
something like that.
Yeah.
I said that we're saying the same fucking thing.
Oh, okay.
I didn't call you any names.
Oh.
She's right again.
Yeah, okay. Well, I guess I pass. I don't know. Monikers.
Okay. Incorrect.
right,
Yep,
yeah.
incorrect.
Oh, that's a good
Natalie,
one.
are you ready for all 10 words?
Yes.
Here we go. Laugh it up, listening to the stories with Mad Libs.
Forgotten Water?
Yes, correct. Forgotten Waters. So the listening part.
Yeah.
Yeah. We know.
We know.
Spin the wheel.
This is going great. How to have a successful game. Started off with a very heated argument between the three of you, and then make both your contestants
Let it go.
mad.
When the one person was just trying to clarify the rules.
Is that all she was doing?
Clarifying.
I'm turning the speakers down. Okay, here we go. Number 3.
Webster's Dictionary defines clarifying.
We'll get through this.
Just keep
eventually.
yelling. We're saying the same thing. I like looking at the
I would
wheel.
say
You
something
do? It's fun, right?
that was right, and he'd say no.
I don't know if you were saying
Nope.
anything that was right.
I don't think
Yeah.
you were. Okay, here we go.
Toward the end you were. Toward the beginning.
Yeah, I think you got it eventually.
Anyway.
But if you had just listened to everything I said, you would have gotten it exactly right. And you know it. Okay, here we go. Number 3. This category, Jeff, is called Filler Up.
Okay,
Oh,
I can name
filler
Natalie.
plus.
Natalie, listen. I can name this game in 6 words.
Ooh.
Name that game.
Oh, man.
Ooh.
That's it, huh? Okay, let's see.
Well, shouldn't have done that. Thought I'd like
Here we go. Filler Up.
fill her up.
Want the most points? I don't.
I don't. Oh, I'm gonna say this game is no thanks.
Correct.
Hey-o.
No thanks.
I got one.
Here's the whole sentence. Want the most points? I don't think you do, bruh.
I got pretty much what I needed. out of that sentence.
I don't.
If you would have said 5, you might not have.
Yeah, because you don't want the most points.
Hey,
Yeah.
he's crawling back in. Now we're having
Hey,
fun.
got it.
Hey, now we're having fun.
All right, spin
All right.
that wheel.
It's not the O. Here we go. Spin that wheel. Natalie, are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Your category will be...
The wheel's spinning. Let's wait. Just wait till the wheel stops here. Oh, slow it down.
Here we go. It is party time.
Ooh.
There's a lot of I's and M's.
Yeah, there's a lot. Well, there's only one M. There's a lot of I's. Party time. Okay, here you go, Natalie.
All
Party time.
Jeff,
Go ahead.
I could name this game in 6 words.
Ooh, and party time. I can name it in 5 words.
I can name it in 4 words.
Okay, name it.
Oh, baby.
Let's
Here we
see.
go. Careful of this team.
Ooh,
Party game.
Careful of this team.
careful of this
Careful.
team. Careful of the team.
Careful.
Careful of this team.
Or watch out, there's a team out there. You gotta be
Careful of it.
Gosh, what's that? It's the other team. Careful.
Team 3.
Ooh, wow. Incorrect.
Okay, good.
Good.
All right, Jeff, here
I
we
don't know
go.
if that would fit. All right.
Careful of this team game. Using one word is tough.
Ooh.
I know it.
Do I have to be specific on which one, or can I just?
No,
say,
you can just
I'm gonna
say
say code names.
Correct.
All right.
Code names.
Oh, I didn't know
Tied it.
What were you gonna say?
What did you think it was?
Just one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is that a team
okay.
game? I mean, that's a cooperative
Yeah,
game.
it is.
Codenames is a teams,
Oh, I see.
right?
I see.
Right. Right. Well, that's
Yeah.
That was the point. That
could've
was the
been,
tricky.
yep.
Yep,
That was the
yep,
tricky.
yep.
Okay, this is working well. I think it's tied up. Is it
Be
tied
careful
up?
of this team.
I think it's tied up.
Be careful. It's getting closer.
Here we go. Here we go. Oh.
Pressure's
Oh my
on.
gosh, the wheel's spinning again.
What's that?
Because it's not cooperative.
I hope it's. Come on, riddles. Come on,
You're right,
riddles.
exactly. Okay, Jeff.
Riddles?
The category is hybrid fuel.
What does that mean?
Hybrid.
I would just like to guess Toyota.
Hybrid fuel.
hybrid.
Natalie, I can name this game in 8 words.
Jeff,
I don't know what the
I can
category
name
is.
this game in 6 words.
Ooh. Okay. Name it.
Name that game.
Name
Okay.
that
Hybrid
game.
fuel. Like
6 words, you say. It was 6, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
3, 4, 5. Okay.
Oh, boy.
Draft your way to victory as
Uh-oh.
Draft.
draft your way to victory as
And what's the category? Hybrid?
hybrid fuel.
Hybrid fuel. What's hybrid fuel? What's the hybrid fuel?
Like, what is
Corn.
a hybrid game?
The sun is hybrid fuel. Because it's fuel for your car. But
Draft
it's
your
like,
way to
Your way to
victory.
victory as
As draft.
you got to think you got to draft something.
Yeah, what is drafting?
Like
all
drafting
about?
cards or
drafting.
or
I'm
drafting
trying to think of any
soldiers.
drafting.
It's like in Mario Kart when you're behind Yoshi
Yeah.
and then you just you draft.
No, I think it's drafting like cards or something.
Yeah, no, I
drafting
think
soldiers.
you're
Just the Vietnam War.
Yeah. Draft your way to victory.
Draft your way. To victory.
Hybrid fuel.
You got about 10 seconds.
Yeah, I was gonna say I got nothing in my brain. So,
Are you gonna pass?
yeah.
Jeff, are you ready for your
Okay.
entirety of the sentence?
Ready.
Draft your way to victory as a Viking in Ragnarok.
Draft your way to victory as a Viking in Ragnarok. Should I know this?
I still don't know it. No.
As a Viking in Ragnarok.
I know what Ragnarok is.
Draft your way to victory as a.
Draft your way to victory
Viking?
as a Viking in Ragnarok.
I feel like I should know this.
Viking.
I'm victorious because I
No,
drafted
you-
my way there, and now I'm in Ragnarok, and I'm a Viking. I'm a Viking. What would I do?
Hybrid
you know this?
fuel.
Hybrid fuel.
No, I don't know.
I'll give you 10 seconds.
Vikings gone wild.
No, correct. I mean, I said no, correct. No, incorrect.
Oh, okay.
Blood Rage.
Oh.
Blood Rage is a
okay,
card
yeah.
drafting game
Yeah.
that takes place
Yep.
during Ragnarok.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Very, very good.
Man,
Okay,
it's
so
not.
it's still tied up.
I think I was so far away from that.
It
Me
is tied
too.
up. Were you?
I was not even
Who's this
close.
for? This is for Jeff.
I was like Marvel United.
Yeah.
All right. Ragnarok. Oh, because draft. There was no. Is there drafting in that game? I don't think so.
Wait, did I? Is this your starting one?
I think this is.
I think it's.
I think
Yours.
I started, right? So it'd be
Oh,
every
did you?
other. So
Oh,
then
did-
be the makes
So it's
it
Natalie's
yours.
turn. All right. This category is simply called mid-heavy Euro 1.
It's probably a mid-heavy Euro game.
Mid-heavy Euro. One. Why one?
One word. Okay, do it.
Okay. Jeff, I
Yeah.
can name this game in 6 words.
Ooh. Natalie, I'm going to try to name this game in 5 words.
Oh man.
Name that.
Okay.
Okay. Oh boy.
Oh,
Mid-
good
Here we
for
go,
you.
Jeff. Mid-heavy.
Mid-heavy.
Euro.
Okay. Slightly heavy.
In the magical land of.
Ooh, in the magical land of... Damn. 6 words seems like a sweet spot. In the magical land of...
What if it was 1 word? It would be in.
Yep. That'd be tough.
Yeah, it'd be a tough one.
It might be.
At least I know that's a magical land.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
true.
right.
Now,
there's
this magical land,
And it's
mid-Euro,
mid-heavy or mid-Euro.
mid-weight,
mid-heavy Euro.
mid-heavy, so a little heavier than mid.
I said mid-heavy and he said mid-Euro.
Or a little less heavy than heavy.
So not as heavy magical land. In this magical land
like
of...
light plus.
No.
No, this would be like...
Okay, I'm saying
be
I'm
heavy
not going to
minus.
name a game
Mid-plus.
where
This
I
would be heavy
think it is.
minus.
Okay, it's not a Vital Lacerda game. Okay, that's what I'm considering
Magical
heavy.
land.
Everything else underneath that is in mid. Those are what I'm considering heavy.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
in
like
my
right
collection.
a notch below those.
Yeah, notch below those.
I'm going to say bonfire.
Okay, incorrect,
Damn.
but that's a good guess.
Magical
Very good guess.
land of-
Are you ready to hear all 10 words?
Yes, please.
In the magical land of terraform with 14 different factions.
Oh.
Root?
Incorrect. Jeff, do you have a second guess?
Oh, we can keep doing that?
No.
Oh.
but you said like you knew. So I thought maybe
well,
just
the
figure
14, is it Terra Mystica?
It is.
Yeah.
Terra
With the
Mystica.
factions.
That is more magical.
In the magical
landy.
land of Terra Mystica, terraform with 14
Man,
different
6
factions.
words
That
was
makes
blank.
That makes more sense.
Well, the blank wasn't a yeah,
Oh,
it wasn't
yeah,
gonna be a
okay.
word. I was just gonna say blank.
Man, that would have been a...
that would have been nasty. All right, 4 left only.
Ooh,
Should've known
boy.
that.
Here we go. All right, Natalie, this is for you. It's still 2-2.
Yeah, we're still tied.
Still 2-2. 2-2. Tied up. Or no, this is Jeff's.
Wait,
this is
mine?
Jeff's.
I don't know how... We might
Jeff's
get out
league.
of order.
Here we go. 2-play, 4-play.
2-play, 4-play.
2-play, 4-play.
2-play, 4-play.
Four-play.
Blip, 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 blip.
Like 4, like F-O-R-E.
Yeah.
No, the number
The number?
2 play, like,
Yeah, 2 people.
and then 4-play.
Yeah, but
The
4
number
as
4
in,
or
like...
F-O-R-E.
Well, I that's up to interpretation.
Play on
It's up to interpretation.
Natalie, I can name this game in 8 English words.
I can name this game.
You gotta say Jeff.
7 words.
Okay.
Ooh, 7.
We're going by
I thought she was
ones.
gonna go down one more. Natalie, I can name this game in 6 words.
I can name this game in 5.
Not saying Jeff.
Jeff.
Oh,
Natalie, name that
Okay.
game.
Oh.
Okay, 5 words. 1, 2, 3. Oh. So what? How about a?
So
Damn it.
what? So what? How
How
about,
about
a
what?
damn? So what?
So what is this? 2-play, 4-play?
How about?
So
How
what?
about a?
So what?
I'll tell you right now, the next word does not start with a vowel. What do you think about that?
Nice.
It's called context clues.
Yeah.
So what? How about a?
How about 2-play, 4-play?
How about a 2-play, 4-play?
So this is a 2-player
2-play,
game that you play
4-play.
before you bang.
Yep. I mean, whatever you think.
I don't
Play
know.
before you bang.
So
Okay.
what?
Yeah.
How about a?
How about
So what? How about
Yep. Pick a 2-player game you like.
Yep.
Or pick a 4-play game that you like.
4-play.
2-play, 4-play.
How about Codenames Duet?
Ooh, incorrect.
I hope there's not codenames.
Jeff, are you ready for all 10 words?
I'm ready. So
what? How about a quilt?
I almost said
Using
it.
time
You should've.
and buttons.
I
yeah,
almost said that.
patchwork.
Yes.
But I was like,
So
what
it was
does he
not
even say?
S-O, it was S-E-W.
Oh, can we ask that? Can we ask for spellings?
Nope.
Okay.
Well, he wouldn't tell us the 4-play.
But
Yeah.
you can use it Yeah, that was just a plan
Yeah.
for the category.
Yeah.
2.4 play.
Yeah.
That was the key. Is so was not SO, was SEW. What are you? If you had 6 words, you would have gotten it because quilt was the
Quilt,
next word.
yeah.
Yes.
All right, Jeff's now up 3-2.
Uh-oh.
We got 3 left. Here we go.
left.
This is Natalie's
Spin
start.
that wheel.
Spinning the wheel. Spinning the wheel.
The wheel is now broken up into thirds.
Yep. Mid heavy Euro 2.
Oh, that's the one after the one category. We did the first one first. That's good.
Yeah.
Let's see.
You're right. It did work out
Jeff,
right.
Yeah.
I can name that game in 6 words.
Name that game, Natalie.
Oh, it's 6 words.
Yeah, you can do it.
Are you feeling a little bit like I shouldn't have done that?
No.
Oh, because your mouth was open and your tongue was out like, oh, shit. Here we go. 6 words, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Mid-heavy Euro 2.
Yep.
Sail around the board a few.
Sail around the board what?
A few.
A few?
Sail around the board a few.
How about Amerigo?
Incorrect. Good guess. Jeff, you ready for your 10 words?
Can I guess it at 6 and get a bonus point?
Guess it
Oh
at
my
6.
God.
No bonus
Should I
points.
take
but
that chance?
You should. No, you don't get bonus points. You
Sail around the board a few times makes me think of Maracaibo.
Maracaibo?
Oh.
I'm just going to tell you,
I
you're
don't
right.
remember.
Yay!
Maracaibo.
Maracaibo.
Sail around the board a few times in Alexander's game.
Ooh.
I thought you had
But
it.
Amerigo, yeah.
You like
you're
lit up and I was like,
sailing
oh,
around,
she's got it. She's got a good chance.
I lit up. I didn't.
I thought you did. I thought you were like,
Honestly, don't remember that game that much.
oh, bro.
Must be really good.
Here we go.
That's your boy.
2 categories left only. Is Jeff up now?
4-2.
4-2.
Whoa.
I gotta
After
get
being
both of
down
these this
0-2.
Nothing.
Oh,
Come back.
All right. 0-2.
Ode to joy. Here we go. The category, is this for Jeff or is this for Natalie?
Me. Right?
Jeff, the
Yeah.
category is Dex Flex.
Dex Flex. Hey, Natalie.
Hey, what?
I can name this game in 4 words.
Do it.
Boom. Okay.
Do it, she said.
I mean,
you sure?
name that game.
Okay, yeah,
Why
because I
not?
guess if he doesn't get it, you get
Yeah.
Yep,
pretty much
I'm
do
doing it.
You got to get these last 2.
Yep.
Okay, okay.
Here we go, Jeff.
Going for it.
Magnets and blue board.
What'd you say? Blue board? Magnets and blue board? That's it. Magnets and blue
Wait,
board.
yeah, that's 4 words. Magnets and blue board.
Blue, like blue board.
Blue board.
Like, oh,
Like
You've been
magnets.
blue-boarded.
Yeah, blue and magnets.
You've been
It's a
blue-boarded.
game with magnets. But where can I blue board it? Sorry for that blue board. Oh man, I got blue board.
Yeah. Oh, you blue boarded me.
Blue boarded me. I had a red board, not a blue board. Magnets and a blue board.
Magnets and blue board.
Magnets,
Not Magnus.
not magnets.
Magnus Carlsen's
Magnus.
blue balls.
Blue board and magnets.
Magnets and blue board.
Can't be like, Richard Launius and Attractions. Probably not it. It's just not a blue board.
I played Attractions with Richard Law.
I think you did.
Did you?
Just
How
in
would
case
you
you
ever
didn't
told
know.
us that?
I'll tell
How
you
would
that.
you keep a story?
I'll tell you sometime.
Yeah. How would you keep a story like that to
I
yourself?
was a very secretive fellow.
Magnets and a blue board. I'm gonna say.
Incorrect.
I don't know.
All right, Jeff, let's give you 10 seconds.
Yeah, 10 seconds.
All right.
Blue board magnets and a blue board magnets. Magnets. We can't have magnets.
6,
So let me say magnets again. Magnets.
4,
They keep saying magnets.
3,
Oh, you're counting down? Okay.
2,
Magnets. I don't know.
1.
Attractions.
Attraction. Okay, incorrect. Natalie, do you know it based on just that clue? Okay, so here's your 10 words. Not that it would matter. I'll give you 10 words anyway.
Yeah.
Magnets and blue board make this game feel like hockey.
Class.
Class.
Ooh, blue
Correct.
board. Of course.
The
I
blue
should've known
board.
that. It's a blue
I
freaking board of
know.
magnets.
I couldn't think of I'm like what
That was
is
like all-
the
that's all you needed.
besides attraction. That's all.
She's sneaking back in, so this is it. It all comes
it.
down to this. If Natalie gets this right,
We tie.
you tie, and I don't have a tie break. But if Jeff gets it,
That's
hopefully
okay.
he does, then doesn't have to worry. I'm just kidding, Natalie. I'm just kidding. I love you much. It's not because of our fight a little bit ago. Natalie, the last category that you have to give to Jeff. Wait, is that right, or is it Jeff to give to Natalie?
don't know. I
think
Don't
I
know.
give it
Okay.
to-
Yeah, I think
The category is called
okay.
hype.
Oh, hype.
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 Did you just spin it?
Yeah. Well, because I want to remove it.
Okay. Jeff.
Yeah, hype.
I can name this game in 5 words.
Okay, I'm gonna put this game into your hands.
Oh.
Natalie, name that
Name
game.
that
Oh.
game in 5 words. All right,
I
Natalie.
should have done more.
Well, this is
That's not good.
card-driven medium weight game.
Oh, it's called Hype.
Hype. Get hype.
Yeah, this is it's doable.
Card-driven medium weight game.
You got it.
About hype.
Hype.
Think about what you can be hyping up.
Card-driven medium weight game.
Card-driven media play.
Card.
Card driven. Take a look around your collection here.
Cards.
Card-driven medium weight game. Yeah, that's 5. Ooh, this is tough.
What if that 6th word is going to be the
This
greatest
is
word
tough.
ever?
Yeah, it probably is. The 6th one is like the sweet spot.
I'll tell you this. The 6th word will not help you.
Oh.
It's blank.
Like, card.
It stops after 5.
Yeah, yes.
This one's only 5.
I just read the second one twice. I just read 5 twice.
The hype part. What does that mean?
Yeah, what
Yeah,
does
that
that
might be the key to trying to figure this out.
What does that
Hype,
mean?
hype. Maybe it's
Flavor Flav.
Sable or
no,
save.
medium
Close.
weight. That wouldn't be that.
Card-driven medium weight game.
I don't know. I'm just gonna say the crew.
Oh, incorrect.
Oh.
Jeff, if you had to guess based on those 5
my God.
words, do you have a guess? You're going to get your 10 words no matter what.
I don't know.
You've won no matter what.
Card-driven
You have
medium weight
won.
game. I don't know. I'll say like the city.
Okay, but here is the entire thing. Remember, the
Okay.
category is hype.
Yeah.
Card-driven medium weight game where birds and eggs live.
Oh.
Oh.
The wingspan.
I was not thinking in
Wong
hype in
span.
that way.
Long span. Yep, that was a very,
Wingspan.
very hyped up game,
Yes,
wouldn't
it was
you
a
say?
hyped up game.
I was thinking more the game was like
Gets you hyped.
get you hype,
That's what I was thinking.
or you're
too.
hyping something up.
Right.
All right.
Congratulations. Jeff
was fun.
wins 5 to
Congratulations.
3.
Sincerely.
Thank you.
Yeah, right.
Sincerely, Natalie.
All the anger was removed at the
Yeah.
beginning of the rules. Okay, so can you believe we haven't run out of ideas for top 5s yet? I can't. Well, here's another. Today we're looking at our top 5 game boards. Not the box, not the gameplay, not the rule book, not the components, but the board itself.
Not the player board.
Yeah, not the player board,
game
the
board.
game board. It's open for interpretation amongst us, whether you put a board on the list for being functional, beautiful, economical, clear, whatever. It's your list. I'm not going to dictate how you do it like a dictator. You guys, I ordered my BGG most played list when I was compiling this list, and like my top 20 games I played do not have a board.
I know they're
Yeah.
not.
I was like, oh
I
my
was
gosh.
looking at them too.
Star Wars Destiny, no board. Insider, no board. Happy Salmon, no board. Hanabi, no board. Carcassonne, no board. The Crew, Codenames, Strike, Attraction, Love Letter, The Resistance. Right? There's the No Thanks, Ink and Gold, Beast of Balance, Cosmic Encounter, Lost Cities, Claustrophobia, Rhino Hero, Red 7, Dark Stories, Just One, Splendor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
None of those
and-
have boards.
And a lot of games are moving to player boards, right? Where it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the board that comes to the game is something small, right?
Yeah.
It holds some stuff.
Yeah.
But then your actions on your
that's where
player
it
board.
happens.
But that's not our list.
Crazy.
Today.
That's not our list.
That is not.
Let's go. Natalie, me, Jeff.
Okay.
Neat.
So, Natalie, you start us off.
Number 5. Game with the best board.
But game with best board
Number
is
5. Game best board.
Is Taverns of Tiefenthal, aka the Doi dot
the
Dadaskadal.
Doi
Oh,
dot
the
the
Doi.
Daskadal.
I think this is a really cool board because it has those puzzle pieces you can add onto it, and it has pieces you can remove and turn over that are like inside the board.
Your player board, though?
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Oh, is that
Oh,
not like, does
boy.
that not count?
It's fine.
Can you read the rules to this one again? And let's see.
No, it's fine.
Are the rest of them
It's
player
fine.
boards or no? That's fine. Let's
I
leave
did
it.
say game board. I guess a player board could be thought of as a game
Does that have a board?
Yeah, there is a board. It's like
Probably
a sport
just
track.
holds crap. Yeah,
it
it just
holds
holds
like
stuff.
tiles
Oh, yeah.
and stuff. That's fine. We're allowing it.
We're cool.
because we don't want to start the
substitute
yelling
something
again. So
else.
we're good. No,
I
no,
can
no.
Are there all of them player boards or no? We did do a top 5 player board once.
Yep, we've done that one already.
The rest of them do have player boards, actually.
Well, they can have player boards.
As long as the game board is what you were talking about.
You do whatever you want.
Let's just move on to Jeff.
Oh
Who
my
cares?
gosh! All right, Jeff, what is your number
All right.
5? This is
Number
awesome.
5. My number
Son of a bee.
5
Game boards.
is this game board called Tang Garden.
Yeah.
Nice.
Tang Garden is a beautiful board. It's kind of cool. It starts out like black and white and kind of like boring looking, and you add all these beautiful tiles to it. They also have these little notches that are cut out along the sides of the board where you add these landscape tiles. So it comes together to look really awesome. And each of the tiles, like looking at the landscape, it has to look at a landscape to like get different points and things like that. So it's
Yeah.
also functional in terms of how it's laid out. But I think they went the extra mile to make it like notched out so it can stand up. They have bigger landscapes that stand in front of the smaller landscapes. It's a cool board.
That's super awesome.
That would be my number 5.
Very good, very good. Number 5 for me is a game I've played only one time. I want to play it with Natalie still. Me and Jeff played it a long time ago, but I love the board. This is called Sekigahara, The Unification of Japan. It's got this like cross section of Japan, this one like specific region, and it's this humongous map, and it just looks really odd. It looks like a map. You know what I mean? Like when you see a map, I love maps, by the way. So maybe that's why I like it so much. It's just very evocative, very cool. That's my number 5. Sekigahara, The Unification of Japan. Natalie, number 4.
Maps.
I just want to do a small preamble.
Okay.
You want to Google a small
list
preamble?
at like 10:30 p.m. after a very, very long,
There's always
exhausting
a defense. There's
day.
always a defense. I did too. I was up way later doing mine, and mine still managed to be in the rules.
Hey,
Go ahead, defend it some more.
my number 4 is Saikatsu.
Yeah, okay.
wrong with that one?
Saikatsu is a great board.
That's a
I just
board.
want to make sure you don't have
There
anything
is
to say about it.
There is no player board.
Well,
in
it's a
that
game
That's
board.
the board.
That's the game board.
So yes, this
No,
game
that's
we
board
won't
is,
say anything about it. It's in the rules.
this game board is not only pretty, but it's
Beautiful.
The way you play it is a little bit different because
Yeah.
it has like the rows and everybody has like a side of the board that they're playing from.
The
Yes,
perspective.
that is
Yeah.
awesome. The perspective part of that board is so
Plus, you're right.
cool.
It's just gorgeous.
Yeah. And the tiles are
and the
awesome, the whole
green
thing.
and-
But yes, the board is
Amazing.
And like,
Good call.
you have to have the board like that to play the game.
Yeah.
If it was any different, it couldn't be like.
Right.
That's super. It's
Plus,
great.
it's just
That's a good
beautiful.
choice.
It doesn't have to be that beautiful, and it is, and it's awesome. That's a great pick. Jeff, what is your number 4?
My number 4 is a game I really couldn't turn down. Kind of 2 game boards that are the focus of this.
Oh,
game.
I know what this is.
This game is
Crown
called
of-
Crown of Amara. 2 separate rondels. One
How
moves one
cool
way,
is that?
one moves the other way. That is just so cool. And again, it creates a new mechanism in that game. Which one do I move? Where do I stop? What do I activate? And being able to manage both of those is the entire game itself. But the board is cool. Again, they could have just done one, but they took the extra step, created a second.
They got in a room and they're like, what's better than one board? I got
Two
it.
boards. I had my heart set on 4 boards. Yeah. We were almost there.
We're almost there. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it does have 2 trees involved. That's amazing. Good pick. Number 4 for me is a game board that also doubles as the game box, and it's called Ice Cool.
Ice Cool.
What a
Good
cool
one.
board Ice Cool is. And
Ice
maybe
Cool
Ice
board.
Cool 2.
Very cool.
It's got an Ice Cool board. Yeah, if you haven't seen Ice Cool, go do it. It's a Dex Flex game, and it's really fun. That's my number 4. Ice Cool. Natalie, what about number 3? No, number
3.
3.
Thran.
Number 3.
Yeah.
What?
Weren't we supposed to end with you?
Yeah.
Whoops.
I'm sorry.
I'll go after Natalie this time.
We'll be back after a short break.
My
Once we readjust the order.
number 3 is Istanbul.
Oh,
I like this game board because
It's a
it is
modular
made
board.
up of different tiles and they could change every time you play the game.
great pick. Because it's not a conventional board.
Yeah, it's not conventional.
You know what I mean? It's like you said, the board is made up of little tiles, which like Carcassonne has that too, but I wouldn't call Carcassonne the board.
Right.
Where
I would agree.
I would. Istanbul I would. Okay, great pick. Number 3 for me is a 2-play 4-play game.
2-play, 4-play.
That me and Natalie played that we really love called Watergate. It's really cool. It's got it looks like a cork board with a bunch of
because
strings going on.
You're
Yeah,
being
it is.
the
Yeah, because you're like
the
investigating.
reporters, right?
Yeah. It's such a cool
That's
looking
cool.
board, and it's also really functional.
Yeah.
So it serves both purposes. It's like awesome to look at, and it's necessary to play. So that's my number 3, Watergate. Jeff, what about y'all?
My number 3 is one of my favorite old games, and I'm talking about old, like in my collection. One of the first games I got in my collection that I really love. This game is called Pillars of the Earth.
Oh yeah.
The Pillars of the Earth board is awesome. The art is beautiful on it. It's got like this old
Michael Menzel, I
school.
think.
You're also building the cathedral in there, so you're adding these wooden pieces to the board. And then each part of the board holds something different, right? They could have just made like, here's the card pile, whatever. But the art behind it looks like where you're going, right? You're getting stone from the quarry. There's a picture of the quarry on there, so you put it on there. And it's a very old school, like has a old school Euro mentality and look to it. But that board is just great.
Yeah.
If you
It's a
haven't
cool
seen
board.
it, it's
Well,
an
got
awesome board.
Yeah, you build you take that off.
That's like, yeah, you add it's for
actually
the rounds.
build it,
Yeah, you
don't
build
you?
it on there.
You build the what's it called?
It's like a cathedral or something.
cathedral,
Yeah. But yeah, it's a great looking board and just really functional. Everything's spaced out. There's also for every spot on the board where you're placing your workers, they have like the name of the place and like what that spot does, right? So I don't have to remember everything. It's just so functional. It's a great board. Pillars of the Earth.
Pillars of the Earth. Fantastic. All right, Natalie, that brings us to number 2.
My number 2 is Pulsar 2849.
Oh, good choice.
That's
It's a
huge
really
board.
big, cool looking spacey board.
Yeah.
And then it also has these like offshoot things, like where you're like the track where you're putting the dice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. The like little satellite
is an
things.
add-on to it, and it all just looks really cool.
Yeah, those are
put
awesome.
together.
Very good
Yeah.
pick. I forgot about that one, actually.
Yeah, that's cool because
one
it's
I
like the
didn't
board,
put on.
and then all these other things go like kind of attached to it.
Yeah.
It's
Sort
like
of on
huge.
side.
It looks
It's cool.
weird, but it's awesome.
Yeah.
Number 2 for me is kind of in the vein of Istanbul, that Natalie's pick for number 3. But this one is neoprene mats that come together to make the board, and it's Cloudspire.
Ooh.
I put, chip theory games on my list a lot. This one, freaking awesome. If you see a picture of Cloudspire, it's beautiful. And you can't help but stop and take a look. So very good table presency board for me. Number 2 is Cloudspire. Jeff, number 2 for you.
My number 2 is, I'm going to say, so we have to replace this is Viticulture, the Tuscany board.
Oh, really? Tuscany board's
So
better
not
than the Viticulture board?
Viticulture Tuscany Essential Editions comes with that new board, right?
Yeah.
The first edition only has like 2 seasons. This one has the 4 seasons. That's an extremely good looking board. I might be wrong. Did Beth Sobel do the art for that? She might be the artist in Viticulture. I might be wrong, but that board is beautiful looking, right? It looks like this incredible vineyard. And then again, the spaces make sense. They're spaced out properly. It's a functional board. You know
She's
what's
one of the
going on.
artists.
Okay. You know what's going on every section of that board. And I don't have to check rules to know what that space does. It's all there, and it's a great board, and it just makes the game go by a lot easier. So that was my
Very
number.
good. Number
Was that
2.
2?
That was 2.
2.
All right, Natalie, we have come.
All right.
Okay. Have
We did.
We have come.
Oh, man.
It was out of anger.
carpet.
Oh, we came. Oh, wipe right up because it's brand new. We got that added protection coat. Natalie, what is your number 1?
Okay, well, tell me. I have a backup in case you tell me this isn't in the rules.
Is it the game board?
Well, I'm not.
Just let us know.
Okay.
Just ask yourself. Is this the game board? If it's not.
Well, it is, but it's not a conventional game
Just let
board.
us know.
Okay. Let's hear
It
it.
is called Fossilis.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah, that's the
counts.
game
Because
board.
Totally
you're all
counts.
playing on that
Yeah, that's a
together,
great-
but it's got
Totally.
like the little tiles,
Yep.
and then underneath are the
Yep,
bones.
you
that
don't even
got
gotta
to
sell us anymore.
Okay.
Great.
You nailed it.
Yeah. No, great one. No, that
a good
is
one.
the game
Yeah,
board.
that's the board you're playing on.
Okay,
Yeah.
No, that's a good one. I like that a lot. I thought about that one too. I don't know why I just decided against it because I remember it crossed my mind. I'm going like, oh, that's pretty sweet, and I just stopped. But
Yeah.
that is an awesome one.
Thanks.
Good choice.
Yes. Number 1 for me was a no-brainer. This was like I thought about it. And I was
I
like,
think we might have the same number
this
one.
is it. No way.
Okay.
Not even close. Well, I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's not for you.
Yeah.
Mine is is like a pentagram shape, made up of little pie slices. And if you look at the meat of the board, there's like all these little Easter eggs hidden in there. The art is so awesome, and it's called Belfort.
There's Easter eggs in there?
Yeah, there's like a bunch of little Easter eggs in there,
I didn't know
like
that.
hidden all over the place. Yeah, it's super cool. I mean, it came out a long time ago, so the Easter eggs aren't really relevant anymore. But there's like people in there like playing Catan.
Oh, really?
In like a little
cool.
section of the board. Yeah, it's really cool. Very functional board. The way the pie slices fit together when you're scoring is really cool. It just looks beautiful, and it's an awesome board. And that's my number 1, Belfort. Check that one out. Jeff, we've come to you, man.
Do you guys know what my number 1 is?
No idea.
No.
Oh, number 1 is Zolkin.
Oh,
I
yes.
can now that
Now
you're
that
saying
you-
it.
yeah.
Yeah, it makes
Yeah,
perfect sense.
right.
I kind of thought
Yeah.
that might be
With
on
the
someone's
gears?
list. I had Zolkin ready to like sub out just because if you guys had it,
Yeah,
I
you thought we were
would've
gonna have
said
it. No, that's a great board.
It's just a great board, and what's cool about it is it fits the game, right? You're rotating this cool, awesome gear on it, and then it's spinning all of your workers around, right?
Yes.
You know, could they have again made this game where it's just advance your workers one space every round? Sure, they could have, and it would have functioned the same. But man, spinning that gear is awesome.
It's cool. And it
Yeah.
doesn't
It is.
take anything away.
No.
You know, like some gimmicks can be like, "Ugh, I wish it wasn't this every time. But it's way easier
Yeah.
to leave them there. All you have to do is rotate the center
Yeah.
wheel. You don't have to do it. You don't have to move those pieces every
right.
time.
It's just
So
one spin, and they all move.
It's better. That's a great pick.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't even cross my mind. I don't know why, but
It crossed my mind, but because I didn't
like the
like
game.
the game
like
as
the
much,
game, yeah.
and I
Yeah, that
thought
makes
Jeff
sense.
might do it. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
you guys
for sure.
have honorable mentions?
I do. I'm going to run through mine quickly. I had Mice and Mystics, which is amazing game boards.
Yep.
All the storybook games, like Stuffed Fables, Sleeping Gods, those kind of
Yeah.
games are really cool. I think Near and Far is a storybook game. Gugong, I really love. Tawantin Suyu has a really cool board. Tekhenu, and then the Lost Ruins of Arnak. Those are my honorable mentions.
Nice.
Thank you, Tanky.
I have Kingsburg. I feel like it's just like
Kingsburg's
a
a cool
classic
board.
cool
It is.
board.
Yeah.
Coimbra,
Coimbra.
Rajas of the Ganges,
The Ganges.
Ooh, the Ganges.
That's a good
and
one.
Mariposas.
Oh, yeah.
Does Rajas of the Ganges have a? Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It does.
Because it has the double track.
Yep, and then the river.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
where you're
The
placing all
Ganges.
your workers
Yeah.
on that on the big board.
Right.
I had Gugong as well, Twant and Suyu. I had Bonfire. I really like that Bonfire.
It is a
Yeah,
really
that
cool
is
board.
cool.
Yeah, that's. A
I
cool
actually
board.
like this might be cheating, like Charterstone as you're building this board. Like the village
Yeah,
just looks
that's
really
sweet.
cool as you're building that. I had Cerebria, which is just gorgeous.
Yeah, that's a good one, too.
Agizia Shifting Sands is a great one. I had Mariposas on my list. I had this War of
Mariposas
Mine,
is a good one.
which is a cool board because it's like the house. I put Crokinole.
I thought about
I
that.
thought about
I
that
did.
on
I
my
was like,
list.
that's
Yeah.
a really awesome game. The board
Especially
is
if you have
the
a
thing.
great board.
Yep.
If you have a nice
Yep.
Helinski board.
Yep.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Yggdrasil is a beautiful looking board with the big tree in it. And then Fireball Island has a cool board.
Yeah,
Right?
it does.
It's like you drop
That's
it.
a
It's like
cool
a
board.
nice 3D cool board.
Yeah.
So those are my honorable
So
mentions.
those are our top 5 game board games. Check out those, and I'm sure and tell us if there's some that we missed. I'm sure there's a million games out there that
sure.
we haven't played, or that we maybe even have, and we're like, oh, dope! How stupid are we?
Yeah.
We forgot that. So that's going to do it for us tonight, everybody. If you'd like to get a hold of us, you can find us on Instagram at Gamecasters or at Mad Board Gamer. Both of those accounts service the podcast. We also have a Facebook group. Just search Gamecasters. You will find us there. You can also email us at thegamecasterspodcast@gmail.com. We have that Board Game Geek Guild for some reason that's still really barren, but if you'd like to head on over there, we are Guild 3678. If you like the show, we'd love it if you consider giving us a rating on Apple Podcasts or anywhere else you listen that allows you to rate us. We've also got a Patreon now. If you want to support the show, feel free to head on over to patreon.com/thegamecasters. There's also a merch store where you can find all sorts of different Gamecasters, Mad Board Gamer, Gateway gear. So head on over to redbubble.com/people/gateway network. So for Natalie and Jeff the Mad Board Gamer, I am Ryan, and you have been listening to The Gamecasters. Good night, everybody.
Nope, here we go. Nope, here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go. Nope, here we go.
Hey, the episode is over now.
Nope, here we go.
If you made it this
Here we
far,
go.
I
Here we
bow.
go. Nope, here we go.
Hey, do you want to win a free game?
Nope, here
Oh,
we go.
yeah. If you do, then please leave your name in a story on Instagram saying you heard the super secret song and tag us, you nerd. Do it now. Do it now. Do it now. Do it now.
Nope, here we go.